Does this one?
Oh no, I can't because I have to do,
Right.
I have to do a fucking countdown, man. You do
You were gonna put the. I know you were gonna put the countdown on. I know you can't do it.
Ay, what the hell is going on? You try to put the countdown on, and you can't do it. This thing is not automatic. 'Cause other one is automatic countdown. Yeah, we see y'all in here. We're doing the countdown anyway.
Welcome back to Escaping From. I'm Philly Issues Guy. Tony will be back in a second. He didn't quite make the countdown, but we're here tonight to talk about Season 2, Episode 9, Balls of Magic Fire. We got everyone in the chat with us live, and if you want to get your voice in, you can call on in at 781-990-8509. 781-990-8509. You almost made it, Tony.
Balls of magic fire. My balls had magic fire in them. That's why I had the motherfucking go to the back.
Yeah, Tony was his balls of magic fire were filled up by this episode.
Ew.
Tony, how are you doing tonight? What'd you think of this episode?
I thought it was a great episode, Phil. I thought they did a really good job with it. As I said, I think that they were building up to these last couple of episodes. The actress who's played Hannah, she said specifically that this was her favorite, and now we can see why.
Yep.
Right? This was her favorite, her favorite thing, right now. So, no, it was really good. There's a lot of mysteries. There's one big mystery I know people are itching for. The Don has the answer for you 100%.
We're talking about what was knocking at the bottom of the bus. I have a feeling that if anyone wants to know what was knocking at the bottom of the bus, it's going to be similar to what was moving the tent. Also in this episode, and
there wasn't no big ass spider.
No,
there
wasn't. Yeah, this isn't Lord of the Rings. Tony, I know I listened to a bit of your review, so I know you're starting to jump aboard the my driving Tilly's sketchy bandwagon. This was her sketchiest episode. She was really sketchy in this episode.
But what is it to the point where it's overkill? Like, come on now. You know what I mean?
Tonight was a little obvious with the sketchiness with Tilly. Jim had a little bit of a aha, but he was still annoying. I must admit, I liked where they went with Randall. They went in a different direction than I thought they were going to go with him. But I expected him to have a little bit more of a redeeming quality in the end. But I liked his dynamic in that scene with Boyd, because you can almost to a certain extent see the perspective he was coming from. But he's still an idiot. I love Donna just telling him to go F himself every other word.
Yeah, he's just not street smart.
No, he's
Jim is not street smart at all. And that's the problem, you know what I mean, with the guy. Seems like an intelligent guy, but Jesus, when it just comes to being simple street smart, he's not that at all. He just doesn't have it. And that's just the problem with it, So
and Jim too as well. Several times in this episode, I just love the way that Boyd or Donna gave Jim the "you moron," like the you meathead kind of look. You meathead. Just because of the way I could not believe that he allowed sort of some of these aspects of these things to happen. And Donna says it perfectly at one point in the episode, and we're going to recap the whole episode tonight, but says perfect. You let him play with shit and you're surprised he made a mess. I've never heard that before, but it was a great line.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. Like and listen, Randall, we're going to go over it. He tried to put it on Jim quick. This was your idea.
Dude, he went all cable guy on him. Like, I thought you wanted this, Jim. I thought you wanted this.
This is your idea. What are you talking about? What do you mean? We have over 240 people in 4 minutes watching right now.
Wow.
And we appreciate it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boys. This is the Escaping From podcast. Let's say what up to some people who are out here rocking with us right now. Malika is in the building rocking with us. What up? M is up in here rocking with us. Luna Love Good.
Bermuda.
She loves good. We love that. You love good. Star is up in here with us. Clean Minded and Awake is in here rocking with us. Coco is in the building. Salina is in the building. E-Dub is up in here rocking with us right now. You know, Big Daddy is up in here. I seen him. Cindy is up in here. Peaches and Dream podcast
Tony,
is up in here rocking with us. And
Kay in the live chat asks
in the
why she
building.
never gets a shout out. Why does Kay in the live chat never get a shout out?
Who's Kay? Kay.
Kay, she says she never gets a shout out. So let's give her a shout out. Kay, to you.
What up, Kay? Oh, I'm sorry we never give you a shout out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people up in here, so it's hard to get to everyone. You know what I mean? But Kay, there you go, Kay. Put her on the board, God damn it. Put Kay on the board. What up, Kay? Glad that you are here rocking with us right now.
And then we got these guys from
H is in the building rocking with us right now too. You know what I mean? Our girl from down under, Carla Way, is up in the building rocking with us right now. Black Shih Tzu is in the building. You know what I mean? Waiting all day for this. So let's not disappoint. We're going to go into some theories. Obviously, Wednesday will be the full theory stream. I'm really thinking about streaming every fucking day this week. I'm dead ass until it's to do it. Because, again, I took off the week for Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to people. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. You know, and you know, I'm thinking about just streaming every day and everything else. But I know there's other people who do stream. And I will make sure I do not step on their toes. I'll try to find out when they're streaming, so that we don't. I know I don't want them to get their viewers and stuff.
Yeah, like Tony will tap dance around there.
I'm not that type dude. I'm not gonna do that. That's not.
Someone asked, yeah, who is this creepy guy without the mustache? But we do have a voicemail line open tonight. Call on in. We'll get to as many voicemails as we can tonight.
Yes, give them the numbers in case they don't see it on the crawl on the bottom.
781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. I love you, TT. We love everyone in the chat. We're going to break down every scene of this episode, go all the way through it. And then, as Tony said, drop some theories and thoughts and get to all of your live chat on a really great episode 9. I feel like I've enjoyed this whole season, but I understand some of the people that felt a little lawnmower-ish, Tony. Like they were trying to start a little bit at the beginning of the season. But I think since episode 6, we've been really, and I mean this in the good way, like a snowball going downhill, getting bigger and bigger. Like it's just been getting better and better every episode and increasing the intensity to the point where tonight's episode, I was just on the edge of my seat through the entire episode, running from step to step. And to me, it's not always about the answers I get episode by episode. It's about the overall answers I'm going to get season by season. And I think this does set up that we're going to figure out more about the tower. We definitely.
I think people who are looking for that, you're not going to get a lot from it. I think you'll get like you got last year, right? When we just think about what they did last year. When we got, Tabitha in the tunnel last year, we didn't get the full tunnel till this year.
Yep.
Right. They gave us a little bit, the picture on the wall, and it was over. And that was it. And I think they may do the same exact thing this year if Tabitha does make it to the tower, which she has to.
And I think she will. And I'm wondering what our bus will be this season. What will be that thing that's kind of like the bus going into this?
It depends how many people die this season, how many more people they kill off and everything. We did get, do you think... All right, let's do the recap. Then we'll say if these people died or not, or we think they're dead. We'll go through it and everything.
We know at least one of them's dead, and we'll get to that right at the beginning. So, and also, Tony was talking about this too. I think I was shouting at the screen when it was happening. This is a nightmare town. At this point, it's seeming like whatever's going on, it's like your nightmare, your worst dreams. There was a lot of talk in all of the scenes that the nightmares become real, but it seems to be. And this is the question I have for you, or at least to go through. Is it more Nightmare on Elm Street or is it Jumanji in the sense where you can imagine things into the world and then they're into the world and then they can affect everybody? And then it gives a whole new meaning to the term nightmare creatures. And
now we know why they call them the nightmare.
That's what I'm saying. Like now is that the reason why they call them the nightmare creatures?
No doubt about it. Let me give it. He gave his first super chat for $10. He wants to know what's going on with FromCon. We will talk about FromCon during the episode. You'll hear more details about it this episode. I promise you. RC, love the platform. He says, thank you so much for the super chat. We love you all. Thank you for the super chats. We truly appreciate it, man. And I'm trying to tell you that all this dough that you give on this, I'm going to be putting it aside for FromCon. So that's what I'm going to be doing with it when it comes in. I'll just put it all aside to From.
But yeah, Tony, like this episode gave a whole new depth to the words nightmare creatures.
No doubt about it.
So let's start. The episode starts, the end of episode 8 with, okay. Sorry, I got to get out of the way. I hated Reggie. I wanted to punch Reggie all episode. This guy, everyone's gonna die. Like, can someone choke Reggie out? Can we gag? I wanted to see Ellis literally hold Reggie down and beat him to death and then curb him like Tony Soprano did the guy that talked crap about Meadow. Like, this guy just wouldn't shut. And I understand he lost his life and he's in a nightmare world, but the way he was playing it,
he's a very, oh my God, everyone's gonna die. And Elgin held him, but like, what? I mean, listen, I would have held him or what? This is a guy, when you react like that, you gotta smack him in the face.
Yeah.
Because this is the classic.
It's
the guy
Airplane.
is acting a certain way. When you act this way and flip out, calm the fuck down,
Tony, there's a joke in it in the amazing movie Airplane with the woman freaking out on the plane, and then everyone slaps her. The priest goes up there, he slaps her, then they all line up in a row with weapons to slap the person screaming. That dude. Like, he needed someone to slap the crap out of. He was annoying me all episode long. Like, he was bad, Tony. He was bad.
That's when you gotta smack a dude in the face.
Yeah. Exact. He needed to be smacked several times in this episode, and just right. He wasn't as bad at the beginning, but when he gets back to Colony House, I can't hold it inside, my hatred for this guy. Once we get to Colony House, so episode 8, Reggie brings Kenny and Boyd inside the house, shows them the scene. It looks like Johnny Depp's death in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, just like scattered blood everywhere. It's just a bad looking scene. He says to Boyd and Kenny that his wife was napping when he heard her start to scream and tried to wake her up. But then, like Nightmare on Elm Street, her body and face cracked open and out came the bugs. During her sleep, she started to say something. Boyd's like, what'd you say? I don't know. What did she say? What'd you say, dude? Calm down. They touch, they break, they steal. No one is free. He remembered. And Kenny they ask, are you sure you were asleep? She was sleeping. Yeah, I'm freaking sure. The interesting thing to point out there, Tony, and we talked about this before, you said this last week and I wasn't sure about it. He didn't see the bugs though. He didn't. So the bugs are only being seen in those moments by the people that are being targeted and attacked. Everyone heard the radio in the music later on in the RV that was playing through the RV speakers. But when it comes to the bugs, only the person being attacked or haunted in that moment is seeing them. Is that correct?
Yeah. When you get attacked by them, that is when you see. That's the only person who sees them is the one being attacked. But they are physically out there. If they're just out there in the world, they're out there in the world. Like when Sarah was able to hear them, and that's when she told us exactly what's going on in this place, I believe. And you know what I mean? But when you're actually getting attacked by them, only the person who is getting attacked can see them.
Yeah, it's really kind of twisted and interesting and has me very curious. So Boyd goes, okay, and heads out. And you can see all the people standing there and scared. He goes to the Matthews groups, tells Ethan, who's starting to get a real look on his face. And he tells Julie to stay. And he explains to Kenny and Julie to tell everyone they can't sleep tonight. And I just want to point out something before we get later in the episode, Tony. Kenny's the one that asked about Sarah. Boyd didn't say, go check on Sarah. And Kenny it's like he wanted to go there and give her. I love, we haven't talked about her yet, but I love how, and I know Sarah is being genuine, but I love how she played Kenny tonight. She gave him you want to be hardcore? You're not hardcore. She went the deer hunter with him.
Yeah.
She went all Christopher Watt. She's like, oh, you want to play, Kenny? I'll play with you. This is what you want.
Yeah,
and I loved Sarah in tonight's episode, Tony. She was one of my MVPs. She
100%. Especially we haven't seen her a lot, but she definitely stole the show in this episode with her whole listen. Ken, you think you gangster, son?
Yeah.
Let me show you what gangster is. You think it's gangster? I'll show you gangster. And Kenny's like, wait, put that down. Put that down. All of a sudden, because Kenny, he's like, oh, there's a gun in the upper drawer. Do what you got. And then he leaves. And he walks right out conveniently. Like he didn't want to see it. But he came back, he was still alive.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? What you asked me to do, motherfucker. What do you mean? What am I doing? You said you want to play this game. Let's play.
Yeah, exactly. She called his bluff, Deer Hunter style, and it was impressive. I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but this is a great, exciting episode. It's hard not to talk all about it in the context. So Julia's here, and they immediately have Julie asking important questions tonight. She's like, "It's not dark out. What's going on?" Boyd explains what happened. That what's his name's wife is dead, and Julie's like, "It's not dark out. There's no why we're in danger." And Boyd just sums it up real quick. There's new danger. We're all fucked. Tell everybody they can't sleep. Yeah. And characters are into this thing, and people that complained about this in the beginning half of the season give credit where credit is due. Julie, we don't have to yell at the screen. Well, Jim's in the RV. Julie straight up goes to Boyd. Well, my dad's staying in the RV. She rats out her dad in the right possible situation. And then we cut off to our next scene, which is the Randall, Donna, and Jim situation. So Randall says, "This is my new plan." Donna's just straight cold ass. It reminds me of is it Suicide Kings, Christopher Walken, when he's kidnapped in the Suicide King?
Yeah, I gotta slow the chat down for the people real quick.
No worries. He's just sitting around like he doesn't mind that she's being kidnapped here. I mean, it sucks for her, but she's just giving Randall, "Just let me on here. I'm gonna fucking kill you" vibes the whole time, and I very much loved it. Randall says, "Donna, you're in on this. I was up the clinic. I saw you move the body of one of those creatures." And he's been watching way too many Westworld reunions, and he thinks that they're androids now, and you're cleaning up your android stuff. Donna tries to tell them that Boyd killed one of the monsters, you idiots. And Randall believes that's too convenient of an excuse. And Jim, with that Job from Arrested Development face, "I've made a big mistake," apologizes to Donna for getting her in all of this. He's like, "This wasn't the plan." And Donna has saved so many people, including myself, that how could she possibly be in on it? And Randall says, and then Randall gets into this thing, Tony. I mean, again, we say, "Oh, you've been in these situations," but I've been in situations where someone thinks they're doing you a favor and they take it way too far. And Randall, he's like, "Oh, I thought this is what you wanted, Jim. I thought that I did this for you. That I thought you'd be happy with my little thing here." And Jim just has this look like he never even considered this an option. I know people think I'm hard on Jim, Tony, but is Jim really this stupid?
Yeah, he is. And thank you for Ryan for becoming a new member. Truly appreciate it. Yes, he is. When it comes to being street smart, he's just an idiot. Like you got to be able to read the room, right? You can't have a Charles Manson character, get him all riled up, and then when he starts killing people, say, "Hey, I didn't expect you to do this." Well, what do you mean? You didn't expect me to do this? You know, it's kind of like, you know, what is that story? The snake and the turtle or whatever it is, the rabbit. And when he gets across the river, he gets bit, and he says, "Why'd you bite me?" "Because I'm a snake."
"I'm a snake, motherfucker." Yeah,
that's what I do. Like, you can't just sit here. You know the guy's a dog. Donna warned you about him. She said it specifically. "Yo, this guy's a powder keg. He's ready to go up at any time." And you're just leading into this guy's conspiracy theories, and he's just going in there with him. So no, you should have never round him up, and that's why he tossed Jim's ass around the football.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Hey, you want to dance, Jim? You want to? Yep. Come on, now that is such a bad guy line. Like in real life. Just think about it. In real life, if you were at a bar and some guy comes and throws you on the floor and pulls out a little pocket knife and aims at you, goes, "You want to dance?" You know, I would laugh at this dude.
Tony, I'd start doing the Roger Rabbit. I'd be like, should I start dancing? I'd start like trying to dance. I'd be like, what is this, Footloose? What are you getting into? Are we having a tap battle? Is this?
You want to dance?
It's a Joker line from Batman 86, 89. "Oh, you want to dance with the pale moonlight?" Like, or Whatever. It was whatever year that movie, not 86. It was an 89.
That knife was as big as his pinky. That was a terrible little knife.
It was just bad. Okay, so yeah, so I guess from the consensus of the live chat and from what Tony says, Jim in fact is that damn stupid. Say in the live chat says, what if Jim says, well, maybe I want to dance? No, Jim. No, Jim. You're cracking me up as well in the live chat, Waya. Okay, so Randall turns this against him into this.
Wait, one second. There was a situation in my life that I've witnessed, and it's reminded me of it. There was one time I was in the house, and these two dudes were beefing over this one girl, and the one guy pushed the dude onto the couch real hard, and he goes, "I'm gonna take you to school, boy. The school of hard knocks." And I just started laughing, like he really said it, like, dude. How did you really say that in real life, man?
Oh my goodness.
How did you say that? He really said, "I'm gonna take you to school, son. The school of hard knocks." He pushed him right when he said it. Like, are you serious? That's what that reminded me of. You want to dance?
Hello. It reminded me of in Ford Failing when Freddy's the character. Hello, and he's like, you're gonna shoot me? Let's fight man to man, mano y mano, and he like throws away the gun and he shoots him. He's like, man to man, mano y mano. What the fuck's that mean? Okay, so Randall turns this around. This whole if you're not with me, you're against me, and he freaks out on Jim. And Jim's being in on it, and Jim points to his own house collapsing. He's like, I'm not an idiot. What the fuck's wrong with you? Jim tries to let Donna out, and as Tony said, he fights him, and he asks Jim if he wants to dance. And sorry. And then just as they're about to dance, Tony, I mean, they're about to dance, and Boyd comes in and messes it up. Come on, Boyd. How can you mess up the dance?
Yeah,
and
Boyd, you want to waltz with him? You shouldn't be doing that.
Teach the guy how to waltz. Okay, so Boyd comes in with the gun and shoots it in the air, and he's like, drop the knife. And Randall says, what you gonna do, shoot me? And then Boyd gives this look on his face. I still think we don't know Randall's backstory. I still get, I don't know, he was trained somewhere, even if he's like a mall cop or something. Like he understands, because a couple of times when he looked to Boyd and he's just like, he kind of respected Boyd's leadership and he couldn't help but do it. He just fell in line a few times, but like in this moment, he's like, "You're to shoot me and you said it in your video." Boyd gives him this look like, "Motherfucker, I was in Oz. I'll shoot you."
I shot my wife.
Yeah.
You think I can shoot you?
You don't think I'll shoot you?
I done killed my wife. You see me aiming this thing. RC, thank you for the super chat. We will get to that question. I promise you, who actually is dead and who is not.
Yeah, we will absolutely. And people that we see that we get some voicemails coming in, we're gonna get to as many of the voicemails as we can after we get through the recap at the end. We got Carmine from Red Team Review in the live chat right now.
Is he really? Look at that bastard. Where's he been at? Huh?
He says, I'm so worried that the show will be canceled. In hindsight, not much has gone down this season compared to last season, and the showrunners want to stretch this out. I think we're going to get the season 3, Carmine. We just haven't announced it, but we're all got our fingers crossed. You mentioned something earlier, Tony. I think Carmine has a similar perspective when I talked to him a little bit off air, thinking that maybe this is all in Victor's mind. It could be, a partial dream. I think that's where I might be speaking for you, Carmine, but I think you mentioned something along those lines. And great to see Carmine in the live chat. I might be the mole. I might be. So
it could be.
Jim tries to let Donna out. Randall gets the knife. Boyd comes over to him with the gun and shoots it and drops the knife. Randall balks for a second, but then he respects he drops the weapon and says, "This is just too funny." He's like me talking shit when I was a teenager. He just can't help just have a mouth on him, Tony. He's just like, like, fuck that dude. But he realizes, he backs off. Boyd starts cleaning up Jim's mess, and Don's like, cut me the hell out of here. And Boyd's like, we got 5 minutes to get out of here and get back in the van. And Randall throws the keys and says, okay, let's get nuts and see what happens.
Yeah. You want to go fight? Now listen,
He's
he
reading
didn't
a
throw that shit.
handbook.
He didn't throw that shit a mile. I think they really could have walked out there and found them shit.
Tony, I was screaming the same stuff at my screen. Like, did they at least try to go? Like, didn't seem like he
It's
threw
not
that.
like he threw it in the pond or something, but you gotta go swimming. I mean, you could see the trajectory that it went.
Is
You know
this
what
guy
I mean?
Aaron Rodgers? Can he throw it like a huge bomb downfield?
He's such a child. That's the whole thing. Randall, he's such a child. Yeah, we gonna stay.
You want this? Nah. Nah.
He's such a child. He's such a child. 100%.
He is. He is, and he's not even a good because we've got several children on the show. Tony, excellent point. There's several children on this damn show. We got Victor, Ethan, and this Randall douche. And Randall's by far the most ill-tempered. Even Ethan, and we'll get into Ethan's temper tantrum later. I forget what you said in your video, but it was hilarious. But we'll get into Ethan in his little, having a little snuff in his esophagus in a little bit later. But I even think that was warranted in some way because he's a kid and he finally acted like a real kid. But we'll get to. But Randall's the worst.
Let me take this super chat real quick from Purple. Alize. Elgin's dream is the answer. Drown the cicadas. Well, they said it right, and I still say it wrong. Fuck it. The bodies.
I just say bugs, Tony.
Right, I'm saying bugs. Fuck it. Drown the bugs' bodies. Mel Munster's dream had a day girl killed. Ken Riddle. Bugs had Ryan Mir. All right, I don't understand what he's saying. I guess he's trying to say that whoever gets killed by them to drown the bodies, and that is what's going to stop this from happening. I don't know if you're going to be able to drown the already dead bodies. Drown the bodies. While they're doing it, the dead bodies, just put them in the water. You can't drown them if they're dead. So are you saying that while they're being attacked, just throw them in the water? I don't get it. I don't understand. It's hard for me to understand what you're saying. I appreciate the super chat 100%, dude. If you could just clarify it. I don't want to say it wrong. You know what I mean? So just try to clarify.
I think do we get one other super chat? Was this one? Elgin's dream is the answer. Drowns the cicadia's bodies. Mel Monster dream. Oh, is that the? Okay, yeah, that was one you just read.
Yeah, that was the one I was just trying.
Blanco says, any other theories on how else to kill the monster since the bullets don't work? Okay, I want to jump on the bullets don't work before we go a little further. The bullets did not work, but I hate doing science, stupid stuff, and people can correct me if I'm wrong. Boyd didn't really work on that deeply. I'm not saying it didn't work. It's not supposed to work, but he just sort of like sprinkled, like used like a meat dipper or something, like I think he did like an eyedropper,
a
mini turkey baster, and he dropped it on the tips of the bullets, then put it in the bullet. I would think you'd need to literally open up the bullet shell, put like a little bit of the liquid in, so it acts. Because again, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's just surrounded like that, once the force coming out of the gun, any liquid, even
it's so hot in there, it would just evaporate any liquid that's in there, wouldn't it? But I think that when dealing with it, I think it's more, we don't know if it works yet. We know who it hit. We'll see the after effects after. Maybe it works later on. Maybe it's a delayed reaction. So we'll see if it's going. Scientifically, it would never work. Like, you can't do that.
Right. I mean, you would have to do a little bit more science. The turkey baster technique wouldn't work.
If he would have put it on a knife, that little knife, and stabbed him with it, then it would work. You know what I mean?
Maybe. But I think we're supposed to assume it doesn't work at this point. But again, maybe with a little bit more direct contact, it could have. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So Randall throws the keys and he's an asshat. So we go off to Julie on her porch, worried about her dad, tries to leave the house. There's a lot of Matthews trying to leave and being brought back inside in this episode. Victor and Jade come in from where were Victor and Jade and what were they doing?
When did they become friends? When they're just hanging out with Victor tells him already, hey, we can't go to sleep tonight.
That's what I'm telling you. I know stuff in town happens that we don't see, Tony, but that's something I want to see. Like how are they hanging out? Are they at the bar?
They in the bar? Did he bring him in the bar, get him a couple of drinks? Was he loosening Victor up a little bit?
Yeah.
Buying him with the liquor? Because the only time you ever see Jade hanging out besides the house is the bar. So one would have to assume They were probably up in the bar, hanging out in the bar together. Or
Something.
something, with this right now, having a couple.
Or he was catching up with him a little bit on the stuff with Tabitha, but later when we have Tabitha and Jade together, it seems like that she's catching him up with what happened with Victor. So he was spending time with Victor, not talking about what happened. I don't know. I'm just more curious about it. Excuse me. Yeah, Ryan. No one said my bile is your bile now. That's what happened. That's the problem. Ryan in the live chat has
it. He could have said it, but he shot him.
He didn't say that. He has to. You're right.
That too. I have a problem with that whole scene. Like, I love the episode, but there were a couple of things.
There was a few things here.
I did. And nothing's perfect, but there was a couple of things that I wasn't happy about. And we're jumping all over the place. So let me just say that right now. I think that they're making the monsters not scary right now. And they're not doing a good job with these monsters. I don't think. Because when Boyd was shooting these cats, they were standing there. And then when Abby shows up, by the time he came back out, they should have been on his ass. But they were only took 2 steps. I don't know. Listen. Is this a red light, green light, 1, 2, 3 situation? You know what I mean? When you're not allowed to turn, move when they look at you? Because that's what it seemed like. But he was turned so far with Abby, they should have been on his ass. And they were all the way back. So to me, it's just not, they need to get closer to these people. It's same thing when you dealt with Fatima getting Ellis inside of
we were talking about that before.
The hospital.
They were
they should have been on his ass. They should have been right there. It's like they're so far away, but when Father Khatri was there, they killed him. They jumped on his ass.
Dude, they were like they were like Mr. Fantastic Stretch Armstrong in that scene.
Yeah, so I just want them to do a better job with the monsters, me personally. Just to make them, give them their scariness back. That's what I want.
My question though, Tony, in the scene in tonight's episode, and we'll get to this, but a question to put out there as we're heading towards that is, was that their intention? Was that their command? Was whatever's controlling them, was their job to surround and scare and manipulate in a sense or were they not there to do what their job was? It seems like they stopped at a perimeter before the music even started.
Yeah, they stopped. They knew the music was coming. But when Randall ran out, they chased after Randall.
They did, and they chased after them when they were, but obviously they didn't chase after Jim while he was hot wiring the car.
No, they could have got to his ass too, and they didn't get
quickest hot wire ever too.
Listen, Jim is a fucking professional car thief.
Yes, it was Jim hanging out with Axel Foley back in the old days.
I've seen people actually hot wire cars in my life. And I think the quickest I've ever seen was maybe like a minute, 60 seconds to get into the car. 1 minute, 90 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
For me, it was like 3 or 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, get in, break the window, get in the car, pull up. But these people had, pulleys. And, you put the pulley in there, you rip the pulley. I've seen a couple of people do it with screwdrivers really fast. This guy was an expert at it with nothing. With nothing, he hot wired that car and was ready to go.
Seriously, Jim has Professor from Gilligan's Island upside going on.
Yeah, some MacGyver shit going on here. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he did it with a coconut.
Possibly, it could have been
the car with some type of coconut.
or it could be MacGyver with a toothpick and some tinfoil and a paper clip, and he forms a nuclear adapter. Okay, so Tabitha and Julie comfort Ethan about Jim's safety and that Boyd is there from him, and Julie's like, and Julie makes it's not okay eye contact with Jade. So we go off to one of my favorite parts of the episode in a strange way, the Kenny and Sarah stuff. Sarah thanks Kenny for agreeing to meet with him. And Sarah's really trying, Tony. And I know people could be like, she killed, but she was manipulated. She didn't do and I think she voices it really well in this episode that she didn't ask for any of this. This wasn't her choice. She was it's this place, not her, that made a choice to kill people. So he says, and Kenny's just like an asshole this whole time. He said, not for me. It's, I didn't want to meet you, even though I'm the one that suggested it. She's like, oh, did Boyd tell you what happened in the forest? No, I don't care. What if this place feeds on your plane? Fuck you. She reveals that her brother was deathly afraid of the important part of this scene, Tony. she reveals that her brother was deathly afraid of the cicadas. And Tony pointed out in his video that Donna said at one point she was also afraid of the spiders. Are there any other examples of this that we've seen in action on the show? Because you're right, I didn't remember the spiders thing, but Donna does say at one point she's scared of spiders.
Her sister was scared of spiders.
Your sister was
so yeah, so we got the sister, we got the spiders from the sister, and we now have these cicadas from Sarah's brother. So now we got to look at the other creatures that we got, and I'm looking at the nightmare creatures that we've seen. And when I put 2 and 2 together, and I'm looking at, if you have to be dead in order for this to happen, then you have no choice but to go with Eloise. It's Eloise is the cause of this whole shit. Because Eloise ran outside and seen all those dead bodies that the guy had killed, just like Victor seen them the next day. But Victor was still alive. Eloise ran out there, seen these goddamn bodies, and when they seen these bodies, she's must be the one who started all this shit. It has to be Eloise.
Jim, I've been giving Jim hair treatment advice for a long time. And to the Eloise thing, Tony, I know we're going to get into something later, a question people were asking you in the live chat, some not inside information, some sleuthing that you've been able to do, but could Eloise be the wet, slimy person that we see in the vision with the bowling thing? You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, like that. She's
Slick Ricky, or whatever we want to call her, like the wet, smiley person that's in the tunnel behind the bars. Could that theoretically be Eloise?
I mean, it could be. I can't tell you it's not. But you know what I mean? I'm not sure.
And
but if they caught her, it all depends. Like if the guy who was killing everybody caught her, he killed her. But if the people who are doing experiments caught her, then yes, they could put her in there. You know what I mean?
And she reveals that her brother was deathly afraid, that the worst fears. And then we get a pan shot where we see the bugs swarm as it pans around town. Just a great shot of danger. And then the bugs lead us to Colony House. It was, again, I talked about the Lord of the Rings before. It was almost like a Lord of the Rings moment where we're above, as Saruman's creating, his forces are flying from over the mountain back to giving him Gandalf's trying to cross the mountain. It was kind of a scene as we were following the bugs flying to Colony House and like the dangers heading over there. And I just thought it was a real, we've pointed it out a few times in a few episodes. This was a really good kind of tracking, following shot. And there was some really fun visuals in this.
They really did a good couple of good shots here. A couple of shots. What up to my girl, Elamar from the Lady and the Don podcast? I see you shut up in there and everything else. Yeah, it was a good tracking shot. Again, we have to look at those ones that we can see out there. And it's going to be different. You know what I mean? We're not going to know which ones are really you could see and which ones you can't.
So can other people see those, or are we as the audience seeing the
It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because we know that some people hear them. They hear them, but we don't know if they see them because Sarah heard them.
Yes, Sarah definitely, but she also hears the boy in white.
She does hear the boy in white. So it's really unconfirmed whether anyone can see them or not. We know that when people are being attacked by them, those people can't see them. We know that for a fact.
Everything about this show is peaking, one of the best shows ever. Great to see you in the live chat, TH. I'm not going to destroy your name, so I will call you TH. And thank you everyone that's checking this out live tonight. Thank you to Tony for having me here all season to get to talk about this awesome show with you guys. It's been so much fun. But let's continue here with this recap. As the bugs lead everyone up to Colony House, Fatima is getting Reggie to explain what happened to his wife and what Boyd instructed everyone to do. Everyone is panicking because Reggie is adding fuel to the flames. Dawn hasn't returned yet. What are we going to do? But Fatima calms everyone down, says, everyone partner up, buddy system, make sure no one falls asleep. Reggie's like, no one can, we can't stop people from sleeping. And like Reggie's just complaining the whole time. Great scene. And Tony, you and I have talked about this a lot, and some people have come up to me on the street. Some people come up to me on the street and go, Phil, you and Tony say that Fatima could run Colony House. She can't run Colony House. But I think when we see things like tonight's episode, we see how her leadership would be different, but she could lead. And I think she'd be a good leader.
It would be different than Donna, but she could. I mean, she's not as seasoned as Donna, and people don't like fear, but with her and Ellis together, they would equal a Donna if Ellis wasn't hurt. You know what I mean? If he was, had his muscles about him. Stuff,
says, don't stop the Tony, don't stop your crazy Randall voice, and Phil, don't stop the frantic Reggie impression.
And let me go back. So people are saying multiple people had, of course, we have seen in the basement, right? You've seen that Boyd and Kenny seen them, but when Donna went down there, she didn't see him.
Yep.
So does it make them? Were they really down there or not? These are people who have seen the music box also. You know what I mean? When Randall heard the music box, when he's seen them, the only one who hasn't seen or heard the music box and seen them, and it's affecting them, would seem like Julie. But everybody else that those things are affecting heard the music box.
I'm trying to think. Julie didn't see the music box, but
I'm saying hear it. You got to hear
it. But the one thing that makes Julie different than other people, like if we say what makes Julie special, Julie wasn't a faraway tree.
Yes, she wasn't a faraway.
So I don't know what could have got zapped into you if we go to warp transporter technology. And I know you've often described that maybe faraway trees are similar to Jeff Goldblum's movie The Fly, or not his movie, but the movie The Fly. And what happens when you go through that? If something's in there with you, something can get inside you. So perhaps going through a faraway tree makes you more susceptible to whatever can be done to you, because that's how they get you. As Martin said at a later point in time, Tony Martins points out that the faraway trees is how they get you. So maybe I'm trying to pick something that's special about Julie, that she would be one of the ones that would get attacked. And that's the only thing I can think of that connects her more to the place, because she is one of the few people that have been through the trees. So maybe that's how they can get to her a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, she was, in all honesty, I didn't see that coming. A lot of
me neither.
But nothing with her. I mean, but if she's gonna be out, we'll see. In the end, if she's going to be out on that or not, but we'll continue.
I am reaching pretty far on that one, Roland. I'm trying to find something that would make it so I can understand why she would be the targeted one. Anyway, so Fatima's getting Reggie to explain. Great scene to see it, but the bus driver is like, "How long can we sleep?" And she does become relevant later on. The bus driver's in some important moments in this episode. Fatima's like, "We'll figure it out, and let's get Reggie some clothes." And Christy and Mari Ellen are there too. We'll talk about them in a second. And they look like trouble waiting to happen. And Ellis and Chrissy talk, and Mari and Christy get a private room for withdrawals. So go back off to the Jim, Boyd, Randall, and Donna. Boyd is explaining that no one can fall asleep tonight, and Boyd is basically telling Jim, you got a family? Are you still thinking this is a game? There's a lot that goes on in the scene, and we'll talk the whole scene, but I love when Boyd just turns to Jim and several times in the scene goes, "You still think this is a game, Jim? Like you're what are you doing? Well, why are you playing this game? Like playing with this doofus? Like what the flying F, Jim?" And
the house fell on your head, bro.
Are you dumb?
I mean, what more has to happen to you? Right? You've seen that there's electrical cords that ain't connected to shit.
Tony,
a house fell on your head, literally. What's it gonna? He's like the coyote. A fucking anvil fell on your head, a grand piano, and I don't know.
Keeps coming.
Maybe shut up.
Dude, the Wicked Witch of the West, or was the East, when she got hit by a house, she learned her lesson. She's like, "I'm dead now." Like, come on, Jim, learn the lesson from the Wizard of freaking Oz.
It was the East.
Was the East? Yeah, because the West wanted revenge, so it was the Wicked Witch.
She wanted the slippers. She wanted the slippers of her sister's slippers.
Yep, and wanted to deal with who did it. But either way, someone got crushed by a damn house, and Jim did too. So anyways, so and Randall is just continuing and almost convinces Jim again too. He's like, it's pretty convenient that they just showed up here. It's pretty specific. And you can see Jim look like, yeah, like shut. Sorry.
Again, smack him. That's when he deserved. You got to smack Randall. Shut him up.
Yeah, and as Mr. Freeman, but I heard a voice on the radio. Yeah, you did. And Randall says Jim pick a lane. We have him by the balls, and Sheriff Grady or asshole, I forget what he says. Doolittle or something. Comes and has a new monster story all of a sudden. Jim attacks him. They get into an idiot fight. Boyd handcuffs Randall, and I love the look on Boyd's face. And you little shit.
Like, all right, now you're gonna get it. Right, sit down, motherfucker.
You stupid. Sit the F down.
He sat down after. He's like, yes, sir. He
Yep.
like he knows. Like Randall knows who to push and who he can't. But he knows he can't fuck with Boyd. Like that shit don't work with Boyd. You know, he knows he can't. He's not gonna go head up with Boyd. That's not gonna work. You know, Jim, he's like, I could take Jim out. I could beat up the guy at Colony House, but he knows who he can mess with and who he can't mess with.
Absolutely. And that's what I was saying, where some part of me thinks that Jim busted out of the police academy or got thrown out, dishonorably discharged. Not Jim, Randall. Like somehow he knows, like when he looks in Boyd's eyes, he's like, oh, this guy is not, he understands the situation. Mm-hmm. So you're right. He sits down. And then Boyd turns to him. He's like, what the fuck's wrong, Jim? Like Jim says sorry again, turns to Donna, says, sorry, it wasn't supposed to get this way. And we mentioned this line earlier. Donna says, you let him pick through shit and you're surprised it got messy. I'm going to use that now on. It's such a true line.
It's so is. Listen, you can't. It was the blind leading the blind type situation here. We're dealing with those two. It was never going to turn out good. It was never going to end well. It wasn't like that. When you're not dealing with someone who's rational here, you're dealing with an irrational person. What do you think? Eventually, he's going to flip. And now, as he's going to flip, he's going to flip on you. Yep. And that's exactly what he did. And he's lucky that boy got there. They would have been both. He would have tied Jim out there next to her.
Yeah.
And they both would have been strapped to the tree. And he would have strapped them both to a tree with a little pocket knife. Like, how did you get there with the pocket knife to begin with? Like, that's not enough for me. Dude. Like, you have to come with more than a pocket knife. Like, you're going to strap me to a tree with a pocket? Dude, you crazy? That's never going to work.
Donna had a plan. If Boyd didn't show up, Donna would have still taken this little douche with his pocket knife tied up. She would have. She had a plan. She was working a plan. And yes, Phil, I definitely think Randall was dismissed from the army or something. He's too much of a hothead, but yet respects authorities and wants to be the dominant one, but is emotionally yeah, because there's something about him that does seem to fall in line, or his instinct is to fall in line, but then he's a dick. And this place is obviously adding to the energy as well, just to be a little bit easier on him and Jim. So Jim says he's sorry again. Then both Randall and Donna say fuck you to each other in a very funny way. Mm-hmm. Randall says fuck you, and then Donna's like, fuck you. It's just a great moment between two actors saying fuck you to each other. There's a game in theater games where you go yes, no to each other, and you don't say anything but those two words, Tony, back and forth to each other. And it's actually on The Sopranos once, where Christopher plays it with somebody, and then he ends up knocking out that guy in acting class. He's like, he knows what he said, and they have this like fuck you moment in this moment. It was very much that. I loved it. Jim says he's sorry again, and Boyd explains to Randall that this is not made up. As he tells Randall to sit the F down, he's like, I lost my wife and my friend here. And he doesn't know how else to convince Randall. And he says, listen, I'll tie you to a tree outside. You can find out for yourself, dumbass. And yeah, that's the end of that.
I think it also shot down another theory in here, was shot down. We're going to take this super chat in 1 second. So they shot down the theory of these creatures being mechanical, or any type of mechanical. Obviously, we know that we've seen the inside of one, but the fact that they said that he had this Randall say, what is it, animatronic? What was it, the batteries die on it? That once you hear that, then you know that there's nothing like that going on here.
Yeah, it was like escape room.
Yeah, it may end the Terminator 2 situation going on here. I think that's what they're trying to do when they put that out there, that the Terminator 2 theory most likely is done. Jersey Johnny says, I accidentally dialed 718 and left a crazy person from Theory on some Paul Barbarian's voicemail in Jamaica. Well, I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
They'll be they'll be like, wait, I have to check out this show name from. So I want to yada yada through this to a certain extent. I heard what you said in your review, Tony, and I'm not too far off from you. And part of it is personal because I dealt with some of this shit in my early years, and applauding to the actress for playing it really true to form. But it's annoying to me. It's like nails across the chalkboard. It reminds me of too many people that I've dealt with in my previous life. So we cut to Christy and Ellis, who are taking care of Mary Ellen. They're going to tie her down as they gather supplies to help her. Ellis and Christy go aside. He voices his concern about Fatima's pregnancy, and he's worried about the baby maybe being having fangs and claws, or like a Daenerys Targaryen dragon baby.
Yeah, which probably means that's not going to happen.
And also
the fact that they brought that up there is telling you against another situation that they threw water on, that she's not giving birth to a demon baby. That's not going to happen.
The thing that might be part of it, but I don't know, is they make a passive comment there that's a reference to another Nightmare on Elm Street movie, which is about Ellis questions whether the baby could be dreaming, and the baby's dreams could be used to harm them in some ways.
I think we'll talk about it, or we probably talk about it later, but we'll say it now because you brought it up. I think that's the reason why there's no kids here. Because if this place is controlled by the death and nightmares, these kids have the most craziest nightmares.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So that's why I said we got to get rid of all these little motherfuckers.
So they gather the kids and they put them in the tower so that they can't dream.
Let's get them out of here so they can't be dreaming out here, because they have the most elusive dreams, these people, So maybe that's the reason why there ain't no
dude. That would be really twisted if it's some weird Craster thing where they collect all the kids and any kids born there are brought into that situation and pumped up with experiments so they can't manifest other creatures. That very, very interesting there. But in Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it's part 5, might be part 4. I think it's the Dream Child, that Freddy's basically being brought by a baby dreaming, and they can't figure out how Freddy's doing what he's doing, but it all comes down to Alice's baby. Spoiler alert for an old Nightmare on Elm Street movie. So Christy calms him down and says the title of the episode, basically everything's all weird if you really stop and think about it. Like pregnancies, the fact that there's a living creature growing in something, the fact that we're even here, it's like a big ball of magic fire theory that, if you stop and think about the normal things in the world, they're all messed up. But the craziness becomes normal to you. And you can look at the referential thing to this episode, into the normal life, dealing with the monsters every day and every night and getting used to it. And it turns into normal. Kenny says something like that last episode. And now we're in this new normal and everything's going to be crazy. And the cicadas are going to become normal too one day. And that's what's crazy about this place. And maybe part of the experiment of the whole thing of how much can people take, Tony? How much can they deal with in this place?
Yeah, no, she's 100% correct. Everything in this world that you deal with is nuts. There's nothing in this world you don't deal with that's not. Even, everything, hair growing out of your skin is nuts.
Yep.
Teeth growing out of a couple of a little up behind your neck. There's some teeth that come out of there, and your fingernails and anything like that you think of. It's all this nuts that it all works like.
Don't after you die, your fingernails still grow, or like
they still grow, your hair still grows, your fingernails still grow. It's just everything is just nuts.
Creepy. That shit's weird, dude.
It is weird. It is weird.
Oh,
wait. You're correct. There was another thing I just remembered right now. Right now, I remembered that we were looking at, but it may not mean it because the person didn't die. But Boyd did say something about worms, that worms were creepy, and then wound up getting worms.
Oh, and then he's got the worms. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that, like, almost 600 folks. Yeah, everyone hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Teflon TV. Check us out. We'll be here for we'll be here all year talking about From, but we'll be here for one more week next week doing this again. We appreciate everyone checking this out. We see your voicemails. We will get to them tonight 100%. So we cut to our amazing pair. I think Jade's awesome and everything. Jade makes Tabitha better in scenes. I love her in every scene she's in with Jade. These actors have excellent chemistry. They're just great together. They're doing what Tony and LMR do on Wednesday nights. They're going through the pictures, trying to analyze what's in the pictures, and they piece together that Eloise's drawings of the Civil War soldiers are maybe a story that Victor's mother told them. And Jade's like, why am I having visions of stories from a 40-year-old dead woman? Is she dead? We don't know. Tabitha realizes that she's having the same visions that Victor's mother had of the tower in the kids, and explains and thinks to Jade maybe something, again, the things that we've talked about for a while here. Maybe those kids aren't trying to hurt her. Maybe those kids need her help. And maybe by helping those kids, that's the way to escape. I don't think it's the way to escape, but I do think they need to help those kids.
Yeah, they definitely have to help the kids. There's no doubt about it. Again,
it's not the way out of it.
They were doing that Akui thing, reminded me of Game of Thrones, the Misa thing with Daenerys, the mother. I think that's what they're looking for, their mom, someone to go in there and save them. I guarantee that Victor's mom's got the same visions, or she witnessed the kids getting kidnapped out of town and knew they were being taken there. So whatever it is and everything, that's the way it goes.
Vaughn says hair and nails don't grow, they just appear that way as the skin falls. It looks longer. Interesting. Thank you. Okay, so I always thought it grew. Thank you.
I thought it grew too. I did. But I'm gonna go with you on this one.
Yeah, well, we'll go with the chapter, because I don't feel strong enough about my opinion to just say it's just one of those things I've always heard, so I believe, because I'm personally, if someone tells me something, I'll believe it. Go ahead, yeah, sure. Anyway, so Tabitha explained, they realized that maybe saving the kids is the only way to do it. Save the cheerleader, save the world. So Kenny's mom, trying to keep everyone sane, pulls out Boggle or Sorry or something. I don't know what board game she brought out, but it's going to be a board game for everyone to feel better. And Ethan does a great little acting job here, acting like would you call him a butt? What would you call him in the video? Would you call Ethan?
He's a butthole.
He's a butthole.
He was definitely acting like a butthole, Ethan, in here. How'd it work out for your mom? Listen, this whole time, little boy, you've been all that. And again, here we go. I told people before, and I've said it before, that the Crown Monaco was a woman, and people tried to tell me, no, he was. No, again, you hear the Crown Monaco reference as a woman. That's why I think if you're going to have a Crown Monaco in the show, it's going to be a woman. And I don't care about the Crown Monaco. You cared about him every episode. Every damn episode, you was about the Crown Monaco. And now all of a sudden, this is a story. All of a sudden you want to act like a little brat like this. Then go to your room. Go to your room. Why? Because your dad's not there? Your dad ain't been there many a days and you didn't act like this.
But I'm not going to see my dad. Like, stop it. And I mean, I know he's
dad was just underneath a house.
But
smothered, and you didn't act like this. And now all of a sudden you're sitting here, act like your dad, everything else.
It was all right. It was all right, normal kid douchery until he attacked Victor with the mom comment. That was like, that was cool.
I mean, did Victor deserve it? Because Victor did get asshole with him.
Yeah, he did complain about that magic marker. That was deserving of your mom's dead comment. That was those
didn't work. That was a terrible gift.
Your mom's dead. Fuck you. Like that seems even.
You didn't give me a magic marker. Well, your mom's dead, motherfucker.
Your mom's dead, motherfucker. Okay, fair. We know Ethan doesn't fight fair. Let's say that.
No, don't mess with Ethan, boy. But again, he played
good acting job by the kid. I'm hard on kid actors. It was a believable butthead kid moment. He was very very.
If he would have just walked out and mooned everybody when he walked out, would have been the icing on the cake. That's what a little kid would do. As a little kid.
Ethan became sassy pants really quick. But yeah, Amy, exactly. The only reason I'm complaining about this is not complaining about it, but just pointing it out. But it was a very believable acting job of a kid that was just like, I'm in panic tantrum kid mode, and it's explainable with him.
He should have took that. His little cane and broke it over his knee. I don't care about this cane anymore.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, you know the meme of the black kid when he's sitting at the table and he just goes, he's sitting there and he goes, throws a tantrum real quick. Like that's what it reminded me of. He's just sitting there.
You should have like knocked the game over. I don't play your stupid game, and then do the bow breaker with the thing, crack, and just walk out of there. And but in fairness, I'm accepting of Ethan is a kid. We're having fun with him, but it's explainable and understanding. I have way more respect for Ethan in this way than his douche idiot father for not having foresight working with Randall. I know people are saying you're going out of your way to attack Jim here. I'm just saying I'm having fun. Tony and I are both having fun attacking this kid.
Yeah.
We'll have some more in a second here, but it's completely understandable, reasonable behavior from a child that's reached his breaking point, that's used fantasy as a way to mask it, and finally can't escape the fact that he's really in this place. So he's acting like a dick. But even Kenny's mom calls him when he says that shit to Victor. She just turns him and goes, "Ethan, that's too much." That was crossing a line. Kid needs to know when to
see, this is a difference between them. If that was me and I was that kid, smack across the face. If that was my mom's best friend, my other mother, as I called her, Sylvia, because she wasn't like dating my mother or nothing like. Don't get it twisted. It wasn't like that. But she was my mother's best friend, and I referred to her as my other mother because she was like my mother. And if I would have said something in front of her, smack right across the.
Dude.
And I just put a meme up from Good Times, and the kid was wilding out, and James almost goes, "You ever heard of extended family?" He said, "The fact that I'm your extended family means I can extend this belt to your ass." Right? So, and that's what it was, you know.
Dude, we've talked about this before. For me, it was the wooden spoon. That wooden spoon would come out of nowhere, slap me out of bam, bam. My Aunt Weezy and that wooden spoon was like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle spinning that, paf, paf, paf. She was like Donatello with the bow, Tony. She'd kill me with that thing.
Yeah, so he got off easy. That's what.
Exactly. He's talking shit right there, and I mean, he gets called out on it, but Tabitha does say sorry to Victor. Ethan's like, well, your mom's dead and her story didn't end well, and I'm going off. Screw you guys, I'm out. And he walks out. So the scene cuts to Boyd, dumbass number 1, dumbass number 2, and Donna. Boyd's explaining to him all that it doesn't make sense, but he had bloodworms that somehow killed a monster, and he got bile from them. And I love how they use the term bile as a joke. I mentioned The Sopranos a couple of times tonight, but it's like when they keep it's not a nursing home, it's a retirement community. And there's several times where Boyd's just like, yeah, it's bile. I don't know what to explain to it. It's fucking bile. It's bile coming out of someone's ass. They kind of do some of it. This episode was also funny at some points, intentionally funny. Harold can't help it. He does comedy really well. So sometimes he's playing multiple angles of it, and the way he's talking with the bile is very funny. Like that fucking bile. Like it was just a funny moment to me, what he was saying it. And
this is the scene then with the bile when he's putting the bile in the bullets. And
he's using the egg dropper.
And this is when the monsters start to come, right? He looks out the window and he sees them. Now, before the monsters come and Donna looks out the window,
okay.
There is a figure standing by a tree right outside there. Does anybody else see this figure by the tree? You see Donna, she looks out the window. They purposely focus on her, and then they show her look out the window, and it's really dark out there. So it's hard to see, but there's somebody with a hood on their head standing by the tree. And then after that happens, then the monsters come, right?
Tony, before you show what we might show people, let's get people in the live chat says
you can't say that, Phil.
Oh, sorry.
You show what you might show.
But you might show.
No, I have to show it. So I have no choice.
You were leading up to it. Don't pretend like you weren't about to.
I was leading up to it. There's no doubt about it. So the Don Tony Teflon, I have the screenshot. It's blurry, but on top of that, I've taken that screenshot and I have enhanced the hell out of it. And I have a definite picture.
You didn't even enhance the hell out of it. You put it through the Batman computer.
I did. And I have a perfect picture of who that is.
And people in the live chat, before you show it, people in the live chat having their guesses. Someone says it's Walt. People will know who that is. Someone says it's the old lady. And so let's see. Looked like the old lady monster. People
It's not the old lady monster at all. I mean, let me see what I can do for you real quick. Let me see. All right, let's get to the presentation here.
Here we go.
It's not the old lady monster. I can tell you that for fact.
Oh, I like how you just called her the old lady monster.
All right, let's just do that. All right, so there it is. Can you see that, Phil?
Yep.
All right, so that's what it is, and we're talking about right here, right? This right here in this area, right there. You could see this person right here in this area, standing there, hanging out, having a good time.
Victor. It doesn't look to me from that angle at that point. It looks kind of like almost like Victor.
I'm in the wrong thing right now. I had to come back.
Yeah, Eve, I'm with you on that one too. That's why I said my first instinct is it looks kind of like Victor.
It is not the old lady monster. I can guarantee you that it's not the old lady monster. Why can I guarantee you this? Because I have enhanced this photo.
Dun dun dun.
And I'm going to give you an accurate depiction. Now, remember, you've seen it here, the Don Tony Teflon first. I'm the only one who's done this. And anyone else who does try to pull this off, you know they're going to screenshot the shit out of this and then show it. But because I got love for you, I'm going to show you right now the face of this person, who this person truly is. And there it is. That is the face of that person right there. Can you see that, Phil?
Yes, I can. So who do we think this is?
That's the face. That's the enhanced version of the face of that person. And you can see clearly, and obviously I put the Teflon TV.
People say Victor's twin. If it's Victor's twin, who could it possibly be? Frickin' Eloise.
That's Eloise then. That's Eloise. That's Eloise. You know what I mean? It's a woman. And bottom line, this is definitely a woman. There's no doubt about it. Right? You know what I mean? It's a woman. And you can see right here the face of this person. It's Victor's sister or Victor's mama, people are saying. Obviously, I put the Teflon TV symbols in there because, you know, people going to try to take this and put it on that thing. They better give a brother credit.
People in the live chat are cracking me up. So it's like older boy in white, Victor's sister. Most people say boy in white, Eloise, Donna's sister, Victor's sister or mother, man in black. It's the isn't it Brian? Is he still missing? It's a what is that? Is that Donna's sister? I think it looks most to me.
Lauren saying I have doubt it's a woman. It's a woman. I mean, I don't know how we don't think that that's a woman there. That's definitely a woman. You could see that face. I could try to blow it up for you a little bit larger for you if I can.
Very interesting. So that character was watching the RV before the monsters came out?
This is the person that was here. This is the same person.
And that was in this scene right here when boy.
This scene. I took that picture of the close-up is this scene, this close-up of the face.
Huh.
And the face was very blurry and everything else and all that. So I had to get it, you know what I mean? I had to throw it through the computer, rank the Batcave and everything else. And when you throw it through the Batcave and everything else, this is the picture of the face you get right here.
Very interesting.
Right there. This is it. This is the person that's watching. It's a woman that was watching there. It's not the monster. Pretty obvious it's not the monster. You know what I mean? This is what it is. So whoever it is, we can't tell exactly what it is. You know what I mean? But this is the person that was there. You know what I mean? It's definitely a woman. Again, on my viewing screen, my left-hand side, that is up against the tree, so it's not going to be as clear as the left-hand side of her face. But my right, you know what I mean, is going to be clearer. But it's definitely a woman without a shadow of a doubt. You can tell by the nose and the lips. It's definitely a woman with a hood on their head.
Interesting. Very interesting. And I wonder if it will end up when we'll end up seeing more of this character. And it's interesting to think that there might be more creatures like the boy in white out there that aren't necessarily connected to the world and are in the mix of it, surviving out there and connected on a different level. Because again, we've heard more name drops of the boy in white, but now we're heading into episode 10 and we still haven't seen him this season. So
yeah, so if people are like, I'm going back to watch now, you can go watch. You're not going to be able to see anything but the picture that I showed you. And the picture that I just showed you, that is filtered to hell. Like I filtered that thing and took all the darkness out of it so you could actually see the person. It's right when the person is doing the bullets. You can look right in there when they're putting the bile on the bullets and you see John Donald look out there. You know what I mean? And that's it. But it's very dark. I pulled out every piece of darkness that I could pull out of the picture just to get a shot of the face and everything else. And this is what it came up with everything else.
Very cool.
You know, so that is the picture of the person. Now you have seen it. This was the person hiding out there by the tree.
Whoever or whatever that creature is what stopped the monsters and started the music.
This person right here. This is the person who did it.
Yeah, had to be, right? Or at least stop help them survive somehow.
Well, they didn't come out until after this person disappeared. This was the person that was out there first. And then then all of a sudden when she goes away, Donald looks away, then the monsters start to come. So this person was there first, and then the monsters start to come.
So maybe this person called the monsters in. And then or knew that they were coming and then said that people are here that I need to protect and then went and started the music. Who knows? I hope we get more information on this. And this isn't a character. That's why I mentioned the boy in white. This isn't a character like the boy in white that we see a couple of times, then we don't see again. I hope more gets expanded on this. And if it is a relation to Victor, then we possibly will.
I want to give a shout out to the actor Victor Scott McCord, who just retweeted this whole thing. He must be watching live on Twitter. What up to our brother Scott and everything else for watching and rocking with us and everything.
So to continue here, and this is awesome. I'm sure
I'll pull it down in case people want me to bring it back. We can pull it back up later.
And I'm sure you'll do a video on that, and we'll talk more about that on Wednesday night as well with that picture. So Dawn is suggesting that, okay, so Jim is asking questions as Boyd's setting up the bullets, and Donna suggests letting Randall take Boyd's gun with the bile dipped bullets. Not dipped, dropped. They weren't dipped. He didn't dip them in the bile and shake it around. I'm sorry, took a little dropper. It was dropped.
Yeah, turkey based. He turkey basted them.
Yeah, he turkey basted them, which, well, whatever. I'm sorry. It's silly. Anyways, but so she says if Randall thinks this is all fake, we can solve two problems. Give him the gun, have him go out there, shoot the dudes, and then either he gets killed, problem solved, or he kills the monsters. That's great as the monsters start to approach. They ultimately do let Randall decide for himself, and he agrees to go out. He's like, he shakes his fist and stuff. And then am I reaching thinking it's kind of stupid that they chose to give a gun to the guy that was just holding them all by knife point?
Yeah, you'd think the guy could just wet all of them up in the house, bang, 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 and then stay in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was what my mind went. I mean, maybe Randall's not that kind of guy, but like he did tie Donna up, hold her by knife point, try to threaten to kill Jim. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily hand him a gun. That wouldn't be my plan.
Like, all right, give me the gun. I'll go out there. Boom, boom, boom. You're all dead. I'm just gonna chill here for the rest of the night. I'll leave in the morning.
If I was Randall, I'm not saying I'd do that, but I do that. If I was Randall in that situation, don't give me the gun. Don't give me the gun.
That's it. Shoot him in the leg and throw him outside. And then let the monsters take care of them yourself, and then it doesn't look like you did anything wrong.
I might be nitpicking a little bit there, but it's something that popped in my head. I'm like, you're really suggesting giving him the gun after you just disarmed him with the knife, and the only way you got the knife out of his hand was by holding him by gunpoint. Now you're going to hand him the gun?
Yeah, it just didn't. Well, again, it's another scene that just didn't work for me. It's just something. It didn't seem feasible. You know what I mean? For that to go on there like that, especially when you just threaten to tie the guy up to the tree too.
Yeah, it was just a little, it was a little whatever. But they do untie him, and the monsters don't get any closer, and they start freaking out because they're like, the monsters are just stopped. And Donna's like, they don't do this. Randall's like, you guys are crazy, you guys are idiots, you know, which I don't get why he called them crazy in that moment right there, but whatever. The monsters all stop dead in their tracks, waiting for instructions, waiting for Boyd to kill them, waiting for whatever. But then the music box sound is heard by everyone in the car. It's coming through the broken radio. It's on channel 45, I think it is, for whatever
Like
that's
47,
worth.
exactly.
47? 47?
So is it 47 or so? It was the exact same number that Tilly gave of her children and grandchildren.
Katie Tilly.
Yeah, it was the same number that Tilly gave. Tilly, whatever she said. So four kids, 7 grandkids, and then was 47 on the radio.
Sketchball, fuck it. And Delicious says 4 kids, 7 grandkids, 47. Interesting. Interesting as well. We're going to get to Tilly, don't you worry. And everyone, I see the voicemails. Tony and I will get to them. We're just trying to
call in. Make sure you call in. As soon as we're done with the recap, we'll go into the voicemails and we're going to chop everything else up again. And we'll go through it. If you want me to pull the picture up again, we'll definitely pull the picture up and everything else.
And good.
Definitely suspect.
And I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought it was a little weird wanting to hand Randall back the gun. So the music box stuff goes to the radio, and I think Jim and Randall look at each other like the sounds are coming through a broken radio. So the scene cuts to Mary Ellen and Christy. Mary Ellen is experiencing more withdrawals, throwing shit around. This is the worst scene. She's just like throwing shit around, trying to break out of the house, basically junkie being junkie, fearing her dream of the and Christy stops her and tries to calm her down. And Mary Ellen's like, fuck you. This is all your fault. Because you got lost in this place. I relapsed. And then she's like, no, I'm apologizing. But fuck you. It's, you know, it's.
All right. So I will say this about her and her scene.
Addict behavior.
Very important scene from her. Though I'm sick of her character, I'm ready for her to go. All right. That's just me personally.
Oh, she's dead this season. She's so dead this season.
But she sees the person in the room and she almost says what it is, but she stops. If you listen to it, she goes, something is in this room with us. It's and then she gets cut off.
Yep.
Before she can say exactly what it is in that room with them. And she wasn't talking about the bugs because that happened later. So whatever was in that room, something was in that room with her and she seen it. And she was going to expose exactly what it was. And they cut her ass off.
Interesting. I kind of made note of that too, Tony. There was a point where she cut herself off or something cut her off. And I just want to say again, people are saying this in the live chat and I agree. I find these scenes hard to watch because she's playing it so convincingly. I've dealt with addicts in similar situations that I've been close to, helping them through withdrawals and situations like this. And this actress is doing an excellent job portraying it, and seeing it on screen, having gone through it's a little like, oh fuck, it's making making me feel like reliving my own mistakes, dealing with people like that and getting wrapped up in it over and over again. Anyways, I don't want to devalue what she's going through or anything like that, but it's nails on the chalkboard watching it on the TV. But I do want to give the actress credit for this. Isn't like that the idiot, everyone's gonna die. But like this actress is playing Marriott, like really is playing this really strong. Like I believe her addict freak out.
She's doing a great job. I'm talking about the character specifically, not the actress.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just sick of the character. Like,
me too.
I'm ready for her to go.
Exactly. And that is a good character that I'm feeling the same way, Tony, because she's playing this character so well. She's junkieing this junkie so like great.
Yeah.
Junkie.
Yeah, like that other lady. Who's that lady on Yellow Jackets that was in Last American American Killer with Woody Harrison? You know,
Julia Lewis.
Yeah, Juliette Lewis. Like she plays
Juliette Lewis. Yep.
Like
yeah,
Juliette Lewis looks like a great great drug addict.
Yeah, she does.
You know what I mean? And this girl's like not on her level, but she's like the next one.
Yeah, you can feel it. She does. She plays her whole body with it, and her and Christy have really good chemistry. And I'm just these scenes are hard to watch. They're hard, and they bump they bounce with the tone, or they don't necessarily reflect all the other tone of the episode. But it's good work. Anyways, so we go off to Sarah and Kenny, which again go from like not my favorite stuff in the episode to some of my favorite shit. Sarah and Kenny, she attempts to apologize to him for what she did. Don't apologize. She apologized. I'm sorry. She wants to live in the forest and perhaps help people. Kenny's like, stop. She's like, I know it's painful and I'm sorry about your mom. I don't care. I know you feel nothing. I don't want to listen to your pity party. If you're sorry, it's because you're a murderer. Boyd should have put you in the box. And that's it, Tony. Sarah's, I've taken all I can't takes and I can't takes no more. Sarah fights back. She's like, I'm done eating your shit. I didn't ask for any of this. I'm sick and tired of feeling ashamed for what I've done. You want this to end? You guys were my family. You think like I lost all my shit. I lost who I was, blah, 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 blah. Kenny's like, oh, you're angry about this stuff. You feel bad. Why don't you just take the gun in the top drawer of Boyd's office, not locked up. He just keeps an unlocked gun in the top drawer of his office. Take that gun and kill yourself and be done with it. And the scene
walks out the room. Then she's like, when he comes back, she's like, listen, I understand what you want to do. You want to put me in the box so it didn't happen at your hand. You want me dead. You don't want to be man enough to kill me. So listen, we gonna do this my way. And that's when she's like, how many bullets we gonna load up in this motherfucker? One? And that's not good enough for you, Kenny? How about two, Kenny?
Like, okay.
And then Kenny tries to walk. She's like, man, back your ass up, son. Yeah, you wanted to play this game. Now we playing it. Now we're gonna play it, motherfucker.
Dude, she popped off too.
She
She dare hunted his ass, Tony. I never want to play Russian roulette with you. You scared me right there. I knew you. I was afraid of you doing it, Mary. But yeah, that was intense. Those two scenes with the two of them, it was incredible. Speaking of intense for a wrong reason, we go off to Reggie and Fatima at Colony House. Reggie finds someone dozing off. He goes, "Everyone, wake up! Wake up!"
Oh, with the bell, like he's at fucking Applebee's and it's somebody's birthday. The way he's ringing that goddamn bell. Like he's ringing that damn bell.
Dude, he's ding dong, ding a ding 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 dong and everywhere. Bad acting Reggie's ringing a bell, mugging to the camera, looking at the camera. We're all in danger. We're all gonna die. There's something almost comical about it.
Yeah, because he's like, we're all gonna die. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but we all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
We all gonna die. Yes, we are. You're right, stupid. We all gonna die.
Dude needed to be slapped. And in fairness, all I hope is that if I'm ever in a situation like this, Tony, I'm not Reggie. That like now I know the person that can't be Reggie. No Reggie.
And, I would have put him to sleep and said, "Look, join your girlfriend, man. If you wake up, you do. If not, bye, get out of here, Reggie."
Dude, he straight looked at the camera and go, "We're all gonna die."
It's terrible.
It was like, again, I love everything. He's the first actor that sort of made me cringe a little bit on this show.
Yeah,
and all respect to him. No disrespect. Maybe he was having a day. Maybe he tried something that didn't work for me. There was something hinky going on with that performance, the way he was screaming.
There's no doubt about it.
Gonna die.
Everyone's gonna die.
And this isn't anything about a good actor or bad actor. Christian Bale is an amazing actor. And in those damn Batman movies, hockey pads sucked. It was stupid. Sometimes people that are good actors or whatever make mistakes because you're not aware of what you're doing. And I'm sorry, Reggie was just a bit over the top in tonight's episode.
It was definitely over the top. It was definitely, cringeworthy is a good word for it. It was funny. It made me laugh. Again,
it made me laugh.
Things like that is what takes me out of the moment. You know what I mean? Like I'll give a classic scene from a classic movie, from Silence of the Lambs, right? Very good movie, Buffalo Bill. Right? Yeah, when he's doing the lotion in the basket bit. It makes me laugh so hard because he says it. He's like, put the lotion in the basket, put the lotion. And she's like, please, I want to go home. Put the lotion in the basket. I just want to go home. And he goes, put the fucking lotion in the basket. And it's flips out like that. That
Yeah.
makes me laugh. Like it took me out of it.
With the
That
lungs
was-
on the goddamn ball court.
and everything else, you know.
Yes,
So
sir.
it could be a situation like that.
Yeah, and
too.
again, nothing. Like, God bless Reggie. I think he was pretty good the rest of the episode, but in this scene, something he drank too much coffee before the take, or something. He was jumping around like he was on a theater stage, just doing like I would be in the scene, like over the top, like oh my god.
Yeah, wait, like kind of like when Donald Trump's son's girlfriend did the speech.
Yeah, it's just
And
like
I know she practiced the speech, and then at the end she's like, forever! And I know she felt in her head, she probably said, this is gonna look great. Or I practice this gonna look great, but it came across that you could fit a couple of dicks in your mouth, though, as big as your mouth got open there. You know what I mean? This didn't come across good. And it could have been a situation like that with this dude. Like he worked on it and he thought it was going to translate something else, but it just made it look funny.
Yeah, it was just fun. I don't want to harp on him too much, but it did take. I agree, Tony. It took me out for a moment. So Reggie's running around, ringing his bell, mugging to the camera how they're all in danger. But his tone's coming off like it's a different show, like it's more comical. Like it came off like he was on a show like Santa Clarita Diet or Zombie U or whatever that zombie what show was. That's like an over the top crazy trauma kind of thing. And he was just going like Hobo with a Gun that their friend Molly was in. Like he was coming off like he was in a different show, different kind of movie. Anyways, Fatima's like, stop. And then like, what's with Ellis? Is Ellis just the guy that's gonna get his ass kicked in every episode? I love Ellis, but he's always getting his ass kicked.
He is Ellis. Come on, bro.
Zombie. Thank you, Big Daddy.
He's got to start throwing down stuff. I mean, he lurks out. You know, he's in good shape. Obviously, he's injured and everything else, but not Reggie. You can't have Reggie do that to you. Out of all people, Reggie, he's like, oh, this flail. And
Reggie bodies him. Reggie bodies him right down quick.
Just flailing his arms.
It wasn't even a contest. And I knew his arms
hurt. It wasn't like he just went and pushed him. He just flailed his arms. And Elgin had to yoke him up, give him the chicken wing. Elgin threw him in the chicken wing.
Reggie's got that spastic strength, though, Tony. He's like, he's eating his Wheaties, man. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, Ellis went from heel to hurt real quick. Ellis went down like a ton of bricks.
He did. Really fast.
Really fast.
Ellis has got.
Ellis is down, Tony. 1, 2, 3.
Ellis has got to. He's got to start training with Kenny in the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly. Ellis
needs to get some of that work in it.
Ellie needs some Ellie. Not he's Ellie now, not Ellis. After that scene. No, but I half expected Reggie to stab him with the way it's been going for him.
And then he's just like, get him out of here.
Yeah, and then he
get him out of here.
As he's screaming, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die, dude. It was such a funny scene. It was just really funny. Like it cracked me up.
Really
and what is Dale doing locked in the room up? Someone mentioned it upstairs.
No one checked in on Dale.
No one's checking on Dale. Dale's sitting in there drinking booze.
No one's checking. Hey, Dale, you know you can't go to sleep. What? Dale.
Is anyone keeping Dale awake?
No one's trying to help out Dale.
Dale's jacking it to the sound of Ellis getting hurt again. He's like, Ellis got hurt again. Dale, we love you in real life, but Dale's such a douche.
We do love Dale in real life. No doubt that's our homeboy. You know, but Dale, he just abandoned Dale.
Yeah.
They don't care what's going on with Dale.
Yeah, Ellis has designed, so thank you for the super chat, Ellis. Ellis is the most injured dude in the whole show. He is. It reminds me of some character in another show. I can't think about it. Just the character that's always injured, like on DuckTales, that duck that's always like breaking.
Launchpad McQuack.
Yeah, like Launchpad McQuack. He's like,
like, if it's got wings, I can crash it. Like that.
Exactly. Like he's always gonna get hurt. Like he's the Launchpad on this situation. I think I just snorted because I'm having such a good time. Sorry, but anyways, Fatima's like stop and protects Ellis, and so he doesn't get stabbed again. And Reggie's like, "We're all gonna die!" And Ellis says, "Get this dude out of here now!" And the scene cuts over to Boyd, Randall, Jim, and Donna. They all look in amazement at the broken radio and wonder how it could work. The sounds are coming out of the music box. Even Randall's like, how the fuck is this all starting to come to like light with Randall?
Yeah, he's like, wait, so this shit's all in pieces.
Wait a second, is this real? I don't know. Is this real? Like, you're the dumbest son of a like.
Yeah, and he just proves he's such a coward. You know, all this again.
Dude,
This is the second guy, the second person, right? First Kenny, and now him with all this tough guy bravado. But when the chips was down, this man was like, "Fuck that shit, man! I gotta get out."
Yeah, dude, he breaks the window and
he's the fuck out.
gets out of Dodge City quick and leaves them alone.
Good. Yeah. As fast as he fucking could, he gets the fuck up.
Rebel Eric with the super chat donation. Thank you. Rebel Eric says, will Elgin die and cause the flood?
I don't think he'll die and cause the flood, but I do. Listen, we may not get a flood this season. The flood's going to happen, but it doesn't mean it has to happen this season. The flood's definitely going to happen. No, guaranteed. Guaranteed without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, that dude, Randall, was the he's talking about, fuck this, man.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck is that? Because once that thump of do after the music stops, and then Jim's like, wait a second, this shit's on the floor. There's no space.
Yeah, how's that happening? Yeah.
There's no gap between the floor and the actual RV. So how are we getting a thump like that? And this is another one of Brother Harold's good moments. Like, come here. Just to come here, the way he was saying, come over here, was a great actor. Come here.
He was great. This was one of his best episodes. He was just all those little things. They just look in amazement. Boyd panics and tells Donna something crazy is about to happen every time he hears the song. And to your point, Tony, that's also when Randall starts realizing he sees the way that Boyd talks to Donna, where when I hear this music, crazy shit happens. And where is Dale? Says Ryan DPG, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Wasn't he locked up in the room with the restraints? That's what we were saying. Basically, he's locked up there, and they're buddy systeming everyone to keep him awake, keep everyone awake. So someone should go upstairs and deal with Dale. I'm sure Donna will be doing that at some part of her rounds.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And as for the flood will definitely happen. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen this season. We have too much proof that the flood's going to happen. That's not going to be a thing they have to do the flood. There's no way around it. Again, a flood is an expensive thing to do on the show. Also, you got to understand it's not an easy thing to do. So, but it definitely will happen. I guarantee it. I could see it may happen this season.
Tony Purple Alize said this. We missed their super chat, which we did. Said the question is, thank you, Purple. Is Elgin's dream the answer to saving Randall, Mary, and Julie?
So we did. He said that before, and we talked about that. I don't know how that would be. What is that? The dream? To baptize them in the pool? What? Because that's the dream. His dream was what? Are we talking about the boy in white at the end dream?
Yeah, the boy in white.
What are we talking about? The boy in white ain't coming over and saving no one. He's evil as fuck, that little motherfucker.
You think he's Children of the Forest evil?
Yeah, it's no doubt about it. I knew it once I see.
Purple Alize says, "Thank you, Phil," and I'm a gal. So,
well, drinking Alize, baby, you must be. that was my drink to give women back in the day of choice. A little Alize, and then after that, it was Hypnotica.
Get you,
ladies. Y'all ladies in the chat, y'all know you was drunk on Alize and Hypnotica. And y'all cats, y'all know that y'all definitely bought those bottles. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Don't remind me of Boone's Farm either, Tony. Okay, so then we Boyd panics and tells Donna something crazy about to happen. They hear something under the RV. What's under the RV? Bugs, something. Like, I don't know what the fuck's under the RV. And then we get this really awesome applause to the effects department, design shit. It cuts to this like computer sound mixed with the bug buzzing to the impending doom, and everything starts going stroby, and it gets like scary, dark, like haunted house kind of look. And Randall's like, fuck this. And as you were saying, Tony, pieces. He breaks a window and he gets the fuck out of there, grabs his knife and runs. Boyd says to Jim, run if you see anyone coming, get the van started quick. Randall's outside. He sees all the monsters. They sort of chase after him. And Boyd shoots some, but nothing happens. Bio bullets don't work, I guess. We
Yep.
hear a voice, and I know you know what you said in your video, but I guess we do need to get into this a little bit. We hear a voice and we see Abby is behind him saying, "Come back to me." And we hear a scream. And as Dawn, they head out, fire more bullets. They get into and to stop and talk about Abby for a second here.
Yeah.
I want to ask
So
you.
the Abby situation was you hear the voice, Boyd looks back, they show Abby, and then if you look close, you could see it's like a 3D hologram.
Right.
Because
She
it flickers, it goes
she
away.
disappears for a second. Totally. I was
And
going
then
to say
it
that.
comes right back after that.
Now,
You can see that
that's
it's some type of
one.
3D hologram.
And if I'm glad you said that because I thought I blinked. I thought I had a hallucination because I definitely saw it looked like an Upper Deck baseball card for a second.
Yeah.
Like you're flicking the Upper Deck baseball card and it comes up. The other thing, if we are going to take it for face value, Tony, when she's saying "come back to me," is she talking about where she was in the woods? Like where the spiders were?
That where she was in the woods or to the tombstone. We don't know, you know what I mean? But it's, to me, again, they got to give me something more with her than what they're giving me.
Yeah.
Because we've gotten this already. So if she's gonna have some type of thing to play in this game, it's got to be more than just her saying "come back to me"
once a season talking to Harold to haunt him or something like that.
Yeah, if she's dead, she's dead. If she's alive, she is. But you got to do something more with it. It's not enough for me right now.
I am with you. Spider, Abby, come back to me for more juice. So they head in the van, they head off, but Randall is out there alone. He's surrounded by the bugs. He's dragged down to the ground. He's tortured and screaming, can't breathe. We all get the payoff that we wanted as we see Randall get destroyed, and I love it. I don't know. Did we get to Luna's super chat here? If it's fear that causes disaster, then Elgin's fear of bodies of water, I was going to say will influence the flood. That is
all right. So it's two things, right? So now we have to understand: is it what Sarah says that she got it right? People have to die. Is that what it is? If that's the case, then he's not dead yet. He'll have to die for that.
Tony, to your point about that, I don't think any character has said what it is on the show yet.
You think that they just throwing stuff up there?
Right, that maybe some elements of it are there, but the actual thing, I'd be surprised if any. I'm not saying a fan or you haven't said it.
Like they ain't got it 100%.
Exactly,
they got a portion of it.
Exactly, that's what I'm.
Yeah, so it could be a situation like that. Then yes, if it's definitely fear, Elgin could be. I mean, it's got something to do with him with water, right? Drowning the burrow. So it could be. You're correct, Luna. Definitely, if it is fear, then it could be something that Elgin does that. His fear that causes the flood.
And Frozen, it's still out. School's still out on whether the boy in white is helping or not. I think Tony leans towards him being a negative creature.
Yeah, he is. Some sort. I'm done with the boy in white. Number one, when you try to put him in white to make it look like he's so pure, that's just a giveaway. Number two, his clothes is too clean. The only other creatures we see with clean clothes like that are the monsters.
Yep.
In real life, this guy's just got to be busted. Wearing white out there, walking around all the time and shit. There's no way you keep that shit clean like that. I don't care how much bleach you got. It just don't work, man. You know what I mean? He would have to have 8 Tide to Go pens in his pocket at all times. You know what I mean? To keep that white.
Get those spots out.
No doubt about it. So the boy in white is dirty. He's dirty. He may be wearing white, but he's dirty. He's dirty as hell.
Will we discuss the pace of the series? Do you feel like they're going to milk the series as Curtis Taylor? I don't think so. I think we're past the point where you can really milk a show that isn't a crazy mainstream success. It's more, are they going to be allowed to get enough seasons to tell the story that they want? I think with a show like this, we more need to worry about that we might have to deal with a rushed final last season if we never quite get the ratings that this show deserves. But I do think this show is going to get a shot and going to get at least 3 or 4 seasons, but it's like either they'll get that 5th season to close it out, or they'll have to wrap it up quick in the 4th season because it never reached the potential it should have with the quality of the show. So I don't think it's a situation where they're milking it. I think it's a situation where they just want this show to keep going. I don't think anything's guaranteed right now in the way that, because there's so many options for streaming and so many options for shows. That's why it's important. That's why we're lucky enough to have some of these actors out here promoting it, because they really want the show to continue. If they were guaranteed and trying to milk a show that was going to be on forever, they wouldn't necessarily. I mean, some of them would, but you know what I mean. It's like people want to promote it. The people that are working on this show really love it and are hoping for more. I don't think anything's promised at this point. And I think you get milking when you got a network deal for a show that's on for 10 seasons, like that, and then you can just milk, or a sitcom or something where you can just spin your wheels forever. A show like this has to earn its stripes every season. Earn its way to get renewed again, because it's a niche audience, and that just has to keep building support till there's so many people into it at the end. This isn't a mainstream show to milk. At least that's
the
my
way a lot of shows are. I mean, Game of Thrones was like that. They would have canceled that shit if season 3 didn't blow up. They would have canceled Game of Thrones, no doubt about it.
Breaking Bad was on the fence for a long time.
Breaking Bad was there, but Breaking Bad was winning awards.
Yeah.
So those are the two things that they look for, winning awards or views. You know what I mean?
The first season of Cheers, which a lot of people might know is one of the greatest sitcoms or most well-received and popular sitcoms of all time. The first season of Cheers was last in the ratings for all sitcoms, or like second to last. The only reason it survived is because of those good ratings. So good ratings can keep a show alive. The Wire probably lasted a few extra seasons because it didn't have a live audience that it should have had, because of
it was critically acclaimed.
Yep.
I remember Seinfeld couldn't beat Jake and the Fat Man out.
Yep.
Like it was Jake and the Fat Man was like number 1 and Seinfeld was like number 4, and they couldn't get past Jake and the fucking Fat Man.
Critical acclaim shows. Better Call Saul had so much difficulty at the beginning gaining an audience, and it was such a slow roll with this. So I don't think a show like because I've seen that a few times, I don't think they're milking it. I think they have a story that they want to tell, and they're hoping to get the amount of seasons that they need to tell it. And I just hope that we're allowed to see the story that they want to tell. So let's finish off this recap here. We already talked about this scene, so we don't have to talk about it again. It's the Sarah and Kenny. You want to be hardcore, You're not hardcore scene. He grabs the raw gun and says, "What's wrong with you?" So we cut to Elgin is teaching Tilly how to crochet.
Oh, so, very nice.
Number 1, sketchball. Tilly doesn't know how to crochet. You're a grandma. I know I'm grandma at profiling, but whatever. And so Ella's teaching her how to. She says to Fatima, "You're going to be a good mom." Fatima asks, really creeped out. Some creepy music plays for a second. Asks her, "How do you know I'm pregnant?" And Tilly says, "Well, I have 4 kids and I have 7 kids and 4 grandchildren. You can always tell." Tilly is very sketchy in this scene, Tony.
Yeah, listen, I don't care that you've been bagged, that someone blew it up in you 4 times, Tilly. I mean, that only makes me know that that dude's pull-out game is weak when it comes to you. That Tilly was holding it down when she was younger. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the only thing that make me know. I don't know how that make someone pregnant that ain't showing. You know what I mean? Or anything. She ain't got no glow about her. She ain't walking on cloud 9.
She's not showing. Yeah, she's unless Tilly's spot. Like, how the heck does she know that?
Is she smelling it? Like, I can smell it on you that you're pregnant, girl. You know what I mean? I know. No, something's going on with.
Is Tilly. That a thing? Are we just as dudes stupid to this? Is there a spider sense where you could tell someone's pregnant? Like, no, this is made up shit. Tilly's.
Are you saying that Tilly got the wop?
Yes. Tilly have that spider sense wop going on, Tony.
Tilly's got the wop, girl.
She can sense it.
She's got the wop. That's why she was dancing like that.
She smelled in the
beginning. You see it in the rain because she's got the wop. That's why she was up in that.
Morphine. She's got that old lady magic. Magical, mystical. Radio said 74 that Tilly is sus. Tilly is definitely sus designs. From this conversation, Elgin suddenly remembers his dream he had while he was on the bus. And then we cut to Donna in the RV coming back to Colony House. So then we get Mari and Christy. Mari Ellen is in hell and Christy leaves for water. Mari must have dozed off or something, or maybe not. I don't know. She sees the bugs buzz all around her. They surround her. Mari Ellen is screaming, "Get off me!" But Christy comes back and she says there's nothing there. Then we cut to Colony House, and Donna is explaining to everyone to keep calm as the peanut gallery keeps asking questions. Don't go to sleep. Listen to Boyd. Jim tried. This scene was hilarious as Jim goes into full Beavis and Butthead mode again. I'm leaving the house, and he tries to fight the guy with the shotgun. Who best extra ever? This guy, the look in his face. I am going to shoot you, Jim. Don't fucking try it.
He pushes him back like, ah! See now, listen. If Ellis would have got pushed back like that, understandable.
Dude, totally understandable.
Understandable. But this dude was, the guy was doing the bird who pushed Ellis back. And Ellis would fly.
Yeah, he was going crazy.
Yeah,
Ellis,
you know what I mean? This guy was like, back up off me, son.
Dude, this guy was like, like when a dad plays basketball with his son, he's like holding his son by the head and he's like, shoot over me, shoot over. He's like, that's what he did to him. He just like pushed him out of the way. He face palmed him. Oh my God, it was awful. So yeah, it was great. So Donna explained, and he just won't. And then Boyd's like, don't let him out as we hear some screaming upstairs, and Jim is overpowered. What a dumbass. Chrissy yells for some help. Boyd comes upstairs, sees Mary Ellen seizing, and her eyes are doing something really bizarre, rolling up into her head.
It rolled up in her head. It's showing to see the white of her eyes. Look at her eyes rolled up.
It was real. It almost had a supernatural look to it. Again, looked like Frodo after he's been hit by the ring wraiths a little bit. Chrissy freaks out. Boyd calms her down by telling a panicking Chrissy, by telling her to be her doctor, not her girlfriend, hold it together. And I love Boyd and Chrissy in this scene, Tony. I mentioned this before. We've talked about this ad nauseum, like certain people, comedians especially, like Eddie Murphy says M&F are better than any human being on earth. Like there's just some way he says it that funny. Boyd and Chrissy both swear really awesome. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be petty like that. And Chrissy's like yelling at these people. These people try to come in and Chrissy's like, get the fuck out of here. And Boyd's like, could you please get the fuck? And he yells, get the fuck out of here.
Being nosy. These motherfuckers. Like, what are you doing here? You're just being nosy. There's no reason for you to be there. And you're being obviously nosy. Right?
Yeah, super nosy. And they just get yelled at. I love hearing Boyd say, and someone said Sam Jackson's the GOAT, though. Yeah, you can't argue with that logic. Sam Jackson is on Mount Rushmore of saying MNFer. So this
and Bernie Mac too is
Bernie Mac, it comes so naturally. But rest in peace, Bernie
Mac is great at saying
rest in peace, Bernie Mac, the hilarious Bernie Mac, and amazing talent. Anyways, so Chrissy is telling. So I love Chrissy and Boyd. They just tell someone to go fuck themselves. So Donna and Ellis come in. Donna takes over as Ellis says, "Boyd, you need to come with me. There's something really important you need to hear." So they go in the room, and Elgin tells Boyd and Ellis about the dream. And Fatima and the bus driver's there too for some reason. Not sure if Tilly was. I'd have to remember, but he remembers his dream. He says he always knew he had a dream for a reason, but there was something he was supposed to remember. And when Fatima said she was pregnant, my question is, did Ellis know? He said, you have to hear this, Dad. So did Elgin already tell him the dream about the pregnancy? So did he know that he was about?
I mean, it had to be something. It seemed like he knew something.
Right. So did he just accept that Elgin was going to be the one to tell Boyd he was going to be a granddaddy here in the situation?
I don't know if he Bran Starked him. And,
he kind of just said, you do it for me here, buddy.
I showed up. Why? Because I'm going to be king. That's why.
You
drop dime. John, you're really the king, John. This to fuck up everything to get Daenerys king so you can get your ass from the throne. It seemed like a situation like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow, Tony. I just have to say, we're very close to, I think tonight is our biggest night so far with live viewers where we got close to 600 people watching.
We had 600 over. We were over 600.
Thank you so much to everyone that's checking it out. One more week. Make sure you join us next week for the season finale. And we're not going anywhere. We're still going to get to all your calls. Recap is almost over here.
Yep.
So yeah, anyway, he says he has the dream for a reason. Ellis tells Boyd she's pregnant. There's a pregnant pause as Boyd realizes he's gonna be a granddaddy and looks to Ellis and is like, whatever. And another subtle acting moment, Tony. Boyd immediately puts his hand on Fatima to be like, like give her sort of a congratulations, like, oh my God, that's awesome. And he goes, okay, explain me the dream. And he explains, he says there was a little boy all dressed in white that kept repeating the same thing over and over again. Here they come for 3 unless you stop the melody. And the bus driver says, wait, I recognize that nursery rhyme. As Tony says this in his video, I did the same thing. You Google this stuff. It's a made nursery rhyme for the show. But her grandmother used to say the nursery rhyme, and she sings it. She doesn't just say it. And I wish I was going to get the audio clip, but I didn't have time to grab it. She sings it in a very specific melody. I don't know if it's the same melody as the music box, but she does sing it. And she says, here they come for 3. I'm not going to try to sing it, but, and she knew it was a nursery rhyme her grandmother used to tell her, which is really fucking weird, Tony.
Well, it just shows that if this thing is manifesting, from children or from people who would, children's or nightmares, that this was probably a child who died. And this was one of their things that they would sing. You know what I mean? Like back in the days, chicks used to sing that Miss Mary Mack dressed in black.
Mary Mack just in
black and down her black. Maybe Mary Mack if
they had that whole thing with the snaps and stuff they did.
Maybe Mary Mack would come down there with silver buttons in the back, killing motherfuckers. You know what I
mean? To be fucking awesome, a lot of nursery rhymes are fucked up when you pay attention to the lyrics. That's a very true point, Winter. Excellent point. It's midnight. Oh, have a good night, Waya. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all nursery rhymes is fucked up. All the stories, Cinderella with the sister who chops her foot off to fit it inside that silver slipper in the original version of it. You know what I mean? And stuff. So, all those things are all messed up and everything. All those Tales Grimm and everything else. They were all disgusting.
And when the cat jumped over the moon, it didn't land on its feet, Tony. That shit died. Like those nursery rhymes are fucking horrible. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And this could open up a whole other rabbit hole.
Ring Around the Rosie is about people with plague.
Yep.
And Ring Around the Rosie, that's what
pocket full of cozy.
Yeah, you would get the plague. It would be a ring around your thing, and then there would be ashes because you would have to burn the bodies after that, and all that pocket full of posies. They put the posies in the pocket because the bodies stunk so bad when they died and shit. So yeah, all that stuff is all disgusting.
Yeah, and the bus driver remembered it. She repeats it, and then it cuts to Jade. What Tabitha is saying, what you're saying is, Jade is the best character on this goddamn show besides Boyd. Yeah. I feel like when you're talking about this, it's like you accept Boyd's the best. Like Harold's Harold. He's the king of the hill here. But it's Jade's 1A. Like say bat fuck crazy Tabitha, and everything is connected somehow. And what if saving the cheerleader, I mean saving the kid, saves the world, and we all go home? Then Julie starts screaming, and Ethan yells for help. Julie must have fallen asleep or something, and she's being attacked by the cicadas on the ground, and she's panicking. Vic is blocking his eyes in the background. She starts choking, and it's bad, Tony. And Julie is freaking out on the ground and losing her shit. Great acting job by Hannah here in this moment. And oh my God, it's the end of our episode.
It is the end. It is the end of the episode. All right, we're going to go right to the calls right away. Absolutely. And take all your calls right now. But let's just talk about who's dead. We got 3 victims here, right? We have 3. We have Marie, we have Randall, and we have Hannah.
Well, what? Julie.
Okay. Hey, Julie. Who all of them? Who's actually dead?
The obvious choices. The obvious choices, like as you know, I was about to say, obvious choices, obviously. Oh my God, like let's go to Starbucks and get a mocha. No, the obvious choice would be to say that Mari and Randall are gonna go because they're the 2 new characters, and I do think I'd be surprised if Randall survives it all. But I also could see. I'm sorry, did that? I think I canceled that comment. I wasn't sure. Anyways, the most obvious thing would be those 2 characters going, but realistically speaking, I could see the whole season with only losing Mari and Julie and Randall survive. There's something about Randall that I think they're going to keep him alive and he'll have a redemption arc of some sort. I know he's a dick cheese now, but there's somewhere within there, his interaction with Boyd in tonight's episode. You're just a little bitch. Like the way he's like talking to him, it seemed like there was something there to be redeemed later on. But I don't know. I could be making that up. So I think there's more to do with him. So Mari, I think she's on borrowed time. I think she's a goner, and I think it increases the storyline possibilities for Christy's character not having that character. I think Mari hamstrings Christy a little bit to just doing scenes with her basically all season long, and popping in for medical emergencies. But that all being said, Tony, the emotional kick, the biggest emotional death would be Julie.
Yeah.
Like if they really got the balls, it's Julie, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only one that would matter would be Julie. The other two, that's why they ended it on her. They ended it on her because that's the one that matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other two, no one gives a fuck about. You don't care. And I think Randall and Mari are both dead. I think they're both gone. So it comes down to Julie. Are they really going to kill her off? Well, if we're going to go the Victor storyline and Ethan is the next Victor, then his sister died. She's got to go too. And that's just the bottom line.
And with Jim and everything, it would be, I don't know. I mean,
he didn't get home in time and he wanted to get home. It can build some resentment between Jim and everyone else because of that. I was trying to get home, blah, 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 and everything else. You know, Liz Johnson, you make an interesting point. She says the bile could save her. It could. That could be the point of the bile, that you drip it in the mouth and then it takes it all away. Could be that.
Who have we lost this season that matters? Smiley. Like we still need to lose.
A main character's got to go.
I would feel like that should happen, right, Tony?
Yeah, main character has to go. Has to go.
And they're set up for
you can't just get away with. I think Elgin could be dead. I think that a lot of these people, I don't think Bata is going to die. I think she's going to stick around. I think, but most of the other new people, I think they're all going to get wiped out. I think that people, whoever falls asleep, and a bunch of them are all going to die. I think it's going to be a landslide of people dying.
Oh, yeah, we lost. Thank you, LeBron. We lost Tom.
Oh, fuck Tom.
We lost Tom. we lost Tom.
We lose Tom or not? I don't know if that's true.
We did lose. So we lost Tom and Smiley. They're our big ones. But anyways, let's get to some of our voice because we got a bunch, Toad. We got a bunch. So this is area code.
Let me grab another drink then. We're gonna be a while.
Absolutely. I'll take some chat and then we'll get into the calls when Tony gets back. I gotta grab a drink too. So poor Tom, bro. Yeah, poor Tom. Yeah, bro. I think Victor will die this season, says Roland. The only way I accept dying is by dream, but if we lost Tom and Father Caudry, all submerged in water by Elgin's dream. We lost Martin, but Martin wasn't someone that we got to know deeply as a character. He's almost just a passive character on the outside. I mean, we did lose Boyd's disease. He seems to be okay, no shaking. I think if we're going to Tony and I's debate him on what cured his Parkinson's, or it seems like the spiders did because the worms are gone and he's not shaking. But anyways, Martin could be evil too. I'm not entirely dismissed that Martin could be our Ben Linus situation, that Martin could be double timing it. But no, I think Martin's gone and somebody else's. All the extras without storylines can go focus on a small group that could escape. It's going to be Mary Ellen and Randall, says Quan Solar. The only way I accept... Dave says, I don't have money for a super chat, but maybe someone can super chat seasons 2 and 3. Jim gets up from the hospital bed and notices that the X is sign flickering before he can touch it. Tilly stops him. Very possible. Tilly is a sketch ball. Poor Tom. The show feels like a cycle. The Victor cycle will happen again. Delicious. That definitely feeds into one of Tony's big theories. Make sure you watch some of his videos to check that out with the loop and the cycle theory that he has going on, that they've all done this before. But anyways, let's get to
let me give a shout out to my man Perk Minded in the building. I see him rocking. He's got a good YouTube channel and stuff like that.
And also I want to give some love to Mandrell, who was in there earlier. I don't know.
What's up to Mandrell too?
Our good buddy Mandrell in the live chat. Someone says, Phil, why do you think all the monsters were smiling this episode? Because they knew they were in the driver's seat. They knew that the game was upped. And who knows if they're smiling or if they're just the mouthpiece for our overseer. Because I do think somewhere, someplace, we have that Truman Show overseer. Whether it's an alien, like Tony says, or some sort of military guy or a human or a fucked up entity of magical, spiritual something. I do think there is a central overseer controlling this, or if it's
And again, yeah, no doubt about it. And real quick, we'll say it right now, 600 people watching. FromCon, we will have FromCon next year. We will be doing FromCon. It will be in Nashville, Tennessee. The website will go up this week. You'll be able to pre-order your tickets for FromCon. We will have a lot of actors there. We are in talks with all of them and their agents and everything, making sure the details and all the things jive and all that good stuff. So make sure that, you know, when the FromCon website goes up, that you go up there, you sign up and everything else. But it's definitely happening. It'll be in June next year. It'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. Guaranteed that we will have our FromCon going down. It'll be a convention. And we'll have a bunch of good things in it. It's going to be a great time. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I promise you that.
So let's get to our first voicemail of the night. This is area code 217.
Okay. My name is Aria, and I'm calling from Springfield, Illinois.
Are you sure you're not calling from Westeros, Aria?
Yeah, I think she is calling from what's west of Westeros.
Yeah, what's Westeros? Sorry, Aria.
And I have a question about the movie From. And my question is, do you think Sarah is right about Ethan, her brother's dreams actually manifesting into the town? And my theory is, if that is true, why would people have fears like this that would manifest into the town? And that was my question.
Thank you so much, Aria. I do think there could be something to this dream thing. In the question of why would they manifest these kind of things, I think Ghostbusters solves that problem very well, or answers that question very well, with Ray imagining the Stay Puft Marshmallow. No one think about anything. I couldn't help it. It just popped in my head. Like, you can't necessarily control the things that pop into your head. If I was in a situation like that, I wouldn't help. I'm just a paranoid, anxious individual. Like, Tony could tell me, if Tony and I are trapped in that situation, he's tough. Phil, don't freak out. That's going to freak me out more. I'm going to have more nightmares. I'm going to think about more weird shit. Like, you're going to have this weird creature chasing me in the night, or whatever. We've all had nightmares. I have nightmares. We all have nightmares. But like, so I think it's hard for you to stop what your subconscious dreams are going to haunt you with.
Yeah, again, I think that's the reason why these kids are not around. And that's what Tabitha eventually, I tell you, Tabitha is going to make her way to this tower, and she's going to meet the people running the tower. And they're going to say, these kids are terrible. And they could kill all of us in this motherfucker, because everything is being manifested through these fucking dreams and stuff like that. So that's a good reason for them not being there and everything else. But thank you, young lady, for the call. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. 501. You think here we go.
What up, Phil? Tony? I got a question for you guys tonight. Do you think we'll ever figure out what dragged Sarah and Boyd through the forest? And do you think the same thing that drug them through the forest is what dropped the rope down for Boyd? Thank you.
So I don't think the same thing did, but it could have been, right? But I don't think it's the same thing. Again, I know people would make up, it was a spider. You could see the leg, and no,
the leg dragged. Yeah.
That's the same people who made up the Norse God stuff, and they was wrong on that, and they're wrong on this too. It wasn't no damn spider that dragged everybody across that situation. It's like it wasn't a spider underneath it. The only thing that makes sense that what it is that it is a fourth dimensional being. If someone's in the fourth dimension, they can do everything that we've seen. They could bring the house down on Jim, and you wouldn't see the person bringing the house down because they're in the fourth dimension. They could hit it from the bottom no matter what. They can go underneath the ground, hit it from the bottom, because they're from the fourth dimension. They'd be able to do that. They can grab the tent and drag it all along the place that they wanted to because they were in the fourth dimension. So
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, the only thing that makes sense is that they're dealing with people in the fourth dimension. It's just, are they dealing with humans or they're dealing with aliens? That is
Tony,
to be decided.
I agree with you. It's that overseer creature of some kind. The only other thing that makes sense is what Sonic, your boy in the live chat, said. The jocks from Revenge of the Nerds dragged Sarah and Boyd in that tent. Ogre and the boys, they did. And everybody clap your hands. We're Lambda, 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 and Omega Mu. Okay, so let's get to our next voicemail of the night. This is from area code 207.
Hey, what's up, Tony? Going on? Josh Waterman here from the 207 area code up in Maine.
New
Also,
England.
what's going on to Phil? Hope you're having a good night.
Welcome, fellow New Englander.
Just wanted to ask you guys your thoughts on the way the eyes turned white on Christy's fiance, sorry. When I was looking at her eyes, they kind of looked like the grandmother monster early on in season 1. You saw her eyes. As soon as she turned to monster form, they turned white like that as well. Just wanted to see if maybe you guys had noticed any other times where the monsters had changed, if their eyes did something similar. Do you think that might be foreshadowing what's going to happen with those folks? Appreciate your thoughts. Just wanted to say what's up. I hope you guys have a good night.
Yeah, I think that when dealing with that, and I've heard people say it, you know, are these bugs going to turn these people to monsters, and if they die that way, they'll become a monster? I can't see it happening that way because all the monsters that we see seem like they're in dated uniforms from the 50s or whatever. They have all of a sudden people coming out there in 80, 90, 2000s gear would seem odd and weird for that to happen because that's what they would have to come out in. So I don't know. As for the eyes, I would have to go back and look at the grandma monster. But again, we see these monsters this year as an upgraded version. I don't think there's anything different about them. I just think they have a better budget, and they upgraded the monsters to make them look better this year than they did last year.
I'm with you too. I think that it's just up the special effects, up the style. That's why they look a little different. They look a little bit more textured and stuff as well. This is from area code 310. 310.
Phil, Tony, man, you guys are doing such a great job, man. Enjoying your show. Look, you know the writers are doing a good job when you get pissed at the characters. When you want to jump through the screen and kick a character's ass,
Fast.
your writers are doing a good job. I just try to give you guys some love. And also, look, we got more 400 people in the chat. Give these brothers some likes. Stop sitting there. Take it down. Take a second. Give them some likes. All right, peace, brothers. Keep it up. Enjoying the show. Much love.
Thank you, 310.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up for your boys in here, man. 600 people in here, man. We should have at least 500 likes. Come
and
on.
310, you should have a radio show. You have a smooth voice, my friends. Very smooth. Someone said that he's got a good radio show. Radio
Maybe
voice.
we get him together with the voice of
916 to do
916,
like a
like a
jazz talk
podcast.
show. Yeah, like
they do a hell of a podcast, right?
Hi, we're talking about Miles Davis in year 93, and it was great. This was Miles and his great day. And then voice of 916 is like, hello, everybody.
Hello. This
Hi,
is the voice
yeah.
of 916. Hello, Tony. Hello, Phil.
Yeah,
And
you put them.
nightmares. Because what is nightmares but our greatest fears intensified? I think this episode gave validity to my theory that this is all an experiment. And that experiment is to find a cure for PTSD. Some of our people have come in with traumatic issues that have happened to them. Some we are aware of, some we're not. Look at the stages. We have the monsters. The monsters are the stressors. The stressors increase the fear. It's in their bile. That bile is fed on by the worms. The worms burst out of the body and spread that irrational fear throughout the community. We have Julie. We have Randall. We have Mari. They are now the randomly attacked people that now are infected with the PTSD. Now we will have to face that fear. We will have to conquer that fear. And in that, I think that that fear will be dealt with, and the key will happen through Tabitha, Elgin, Sarah, and Victor. We'll see how it plays out.
Ooh,
I'm so curious, but I believe my theory is right.
her voice is extra on
Thank
tonight,
you,
Tony.
family. This has been a fun ride.
Oh, fun ride.
Peace. Stay sexy.
See how she said fun ride. She stretched out fun ride. Tony, you're an amazing writer. I'm a children's entertainer, and I read, but you're an amazing children's writer, and I know you're working on some adult material too. You need to have the voice of 916 do your audiobook.
Yeah, I would definitely have
right.
do the audio book for it.
You got to write the right thing, but the right short story or something.
I'm working right now on a screenplay for me and Phil. Actually, I'm writing a comedy for me and Phil to play the leads in the comedy.
Dude, that would be
it's very funny too.
I can't wait. Ooh,
that is funny. It's really funny too. I can't
Ooh.
wait till I get it done. Hopefully, we get this done sooner or later.
Let's
You
do
know
it.
what I mean?
Our own version of Waiting for Godot. Okay, so let's get to a couple more not a couple. Let's get to as many voicemails as we can before Tony has to go to bed. Area code 813.
Hello, Phil, Tony. This is Byron calling from Gainesville, Florida. I just have to say, the funniest moment of this TV show, of this episode, was when Boyd found out that Fatima was pregnant. He looks at Fatima, then he looks over at Ellis, and then what's his name? Elgin is just sitting there like, oops. I rewind that part at least 2 or 3 times. And
Dude, I'm gonna play the rest of your message, but absolutely, it was fucking hilarious. And that's my question. And again, I'm gonna rewind a little bit and then play the rest of your message. But my question is, what did Elgin tell Ellis to go get Boyd? He must have been so vague. I remembered my dream, go get your dad. He must not have told him, I remember the dream about your pregnant girlfriend.
Because he must not have put the reason why he remembered it.
He must not have.
But why would all of a sudden the boy, this is the whole thing. And this is what it is. And this is the problem about that scene and why it kind of doesn't work. And I love this show. And I love everything. And I'm not trying to bet. And everyone else, I love it. But this is what you would have to understand it like this. If he told Ellis what happened,
thank you, Hero.
Somehow Ellis would already have to know that the boy in white is an important character, or that this song that he was repeating was important.
Yeah.
Nothing that he said should have triggered anything for Ellis
to go into say, like, you need to hear
Boyd
this.
Needs to hear, you need to hear this. Nothing he said should have triggered that to Ellis. Because Ellis knows nothing about the boy in white, and he's never heard that song before.
Yeah, what was so important that Ellis heard that he went in and interrupted a very sensitive situation that Boyd was dealing with right there to be like, you need to leave this junkie addict craziness that you're helping Chrissy in to come with me now that Donna needs to take over for you, Boyd, to come in. Is it just that Ellis was like, did Elgin say, you need to get your father immediately? I mean, that's the only possible.
That would be the only way because the Bata didn't know. Like when she heard the poem, it seemed like she heard it for the first time.
Right. It wasn't like Ellis. Ellis. I keep calling Elgin mentioned it and said that all beforehand because otherwise it totally doesn't make sense that Ellis was upset or shocked that Elgin said the pregnancy situation. But it was an interesting scene. Anyways, let's play the rest of. I think it's Heroes. Was it? Is it someone in the live chat says, "Hey, that's my voicemail." Heroes Gaming. Let's play the rest of Heroes Gaming's voicemail.
Sitting there like, oops. I rewind that part at least 2 or 3 times, and I die laughing so hard. Best moment of the show so far. Love you guys. Didn't really have a question, but just wanted to make that statement. Take care.
Thank you so much, my friend. Let's play this area code 604.
This is Quan Sola. How y'all doing? Show's great. Loving it.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Anyways, Spiders prey on cicadas. Just wanted to mention that. And I guess dream catchers may save lives. So we're going to find out what's going on in episode 10. I'm super excited.
So Tony, we talked about this a little bit.
I pronounce it the way I want to pronounce it, motherfucker.
You know what he's trying to say. It reminds me of the Game of Thrones days when one of my, like, first of all, I pronounced Dawn in my first Game of Thrones video I ever did. But through most of the first couple of seasons of where we were talking about the Red Viper, Tony, his name is Oberon. Like I think I said Oberon a few times, and people are like, "It's not Oberon, Phil. It's Oberon or Arya." I used to say Arya. It's not Arya, Phil. It's Aya. Like, what the fuck? What are you, an idiot? You're pronouncing your name wrong. It's Aya.
I call him Cicadius. That's what it's gonna be. God damn it.
You know what he means, damn it.
That's just gonna be staying that way. It's the way I always pronounce it my whole life. It's the way it is. It's staying that way.
It's Aya, not Arya, Phil.
Oh, that's what I say. It's Brian. In the audiobooks, they pronounce Brienne as Brian.
Yeah, or Peter is Peter.
Yeah,
anyways,
Peter.
He changes it every goddamn time, Tony. It's not a Tuma. It's not a Tuma, Sonic. It is a Tuma. I have a funny story about that I'll tell in an After Dark later on. Okay, area code 5 or issues program. Area code 563 is a question about the con.
Hey, this is Jared. I was just wondering if any of the actors are going to be at FromCon as well. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
Yes, there will be actors at FromCon. I have, like, I would say right now, I could say 5 actors who have told me 100% they want to go to FromCon. Again, it comes down to
scheduling, permission,
scheduling, and everything else. But I could say this for fact that we will definitely have Molly Dunsworth. Ones that I can confirm right now will be Molly Dunsworth, who is the Jasmine Monster. She will be there. And we'll have the actor who plays Elgin.
Yeah, Elgin will definitely be there.
Those two would definitely be there. I have other ones who's already said that they will go, but again, I can't put them out there right now of who it's gonna be. So when the website goes up, we'll put up every month. We'll add people to it. We'll drop a new.
But there's some big people that are in the mix.
No, they're coming. Don't worry about it. I just have to wait. I can't just throw them up there right now. I just have to wait.
Right, exactly.
Again, it has to do with MGM, and MGM's been very good. It has to do with the agents. It has to do with timing and everything else, and all that good stuff.
Basically, we still need to get like the kiss from the mafia Don of MGM, like. Tony's a Don, but there's the Don of the Dons, the presidents of MGM.
Yeah.
They need to sign off on all of this, and then we're good to go, rolling in the wind, and see how much, if any, help we can get from them to secure some of the bigger names. But yes, we'll at least have a couple of the actors there for sure.
Yes, they will definitely be there. You don't have to worry about that. I guarantee it. You know. I just can't put them on the website right now. But I already told you. If you watch previous streams, I already told you the actors who are coming.
Yeah,
we already said their names there. I just can't put them on the website. But I already told you.
We've
the
slipped
ones you already
before.
Said. Who's going to be there?
Maybe they want to host the MGM in Vegas is fun, but expensive. Nashville is a great time, has the same vibe as Vegas, minus the gambling, and it's cheaper. Area code 708.
Hi, this is Rita from Chicago. I want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. But I also want to talk about this episode. This episode solidified it that Donna is the mole. I think the picture that you showed, Tony, was a picture of her sister. Because when she looked out the window and seen her, she didn't warn anybody or anything. The first thing she said, as soon as she seen it, she turned around and said, I think we should send him outside to test the bullets. So that's just my thoughts. What's y'all thoughts?
That's exactly the way I agree. That's exactly the way it looked at. She goes out, she looks out the window, she sees the image of the person out in the window, and then she's like, let's send this dude out there. She doesn't say, oh, there's someone out there. She doesn't bring it up or anything.
Yeah,
Now
Donna had to have seen it, right? Donna's not.
it's hard to see, but the fact that we could see it, we gotta assume that she could see it also. But
She
they
also
didn't make it easy to see. You know, they put her there, but they didn't put her there on blast for everyone to see. Two, you can't tell that that's a woman. Again, I pull up the picture, and this would be the enhanced version of the picture, and you could still you can't see it. It's a woman up there at all. You know what I mean? But only when I did that is when I realized that it was a woman. When I fully put the enhanced version up there. No, it's this one right here.
Someone says, yeah, Donna did not have her hands in her pocket this episode, Big Daddy.
Like, so when you see it, this is an enhanced version of it, right? I don't know if I have it, the original version. No, that's going somewhere else. But this is the enhanced version of this person standing by the tree right here. It's much darker than this if you go back and look. But it's so they were trying, like, they were like, we're gonna put someone here. If you see it, you do. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? But they definitely put someone here on purpose. Now, when we look at the picture of the person really fast, we can see that it's definitely a woman. Is it Donna's sister? We can't tell. It looks like it's short hair from the way the hair falls over this ear right here. I can't see anything else, but they do have like a hoodie on too, so it's hard to tell. But you know, I mean, it looks like a woman. I would have to say it's a woman and everything else, but this is the face of the person who's there. There's no doubt. This is who it is. So it could be Donna's sister. It could be someone else. But whoever this person is, this is definitely a person from the tower. In there.
There's some hinky stuff going on. Let's get to another voicemail. This is from area code 562.
Happy From Day, everybody. God bless everybody in the chat. Tony, Big Tony Teflon Don, how you doing? Phil, man, you look about 27 with no beard and everything. The clean shave looking good. Hope everybody in the chat's doing fine.
I think I just look like 50 with the beard, because half my face is like I got the Santa beard. Like in 2 years, I'm gonna have the Santa beard. But if you look close, you'd see all the wrinkles and shit. But thank you, I appreciate that.
Hope everybody in the chat's doing fine. What an episode. Man, I just can't believe the season has flew by so fast. Already on the season finale. Man, got a question. How many people you think are going to die in the season finale? You know, and I'm going to be so mad if they kill off Julie, man. It's going to eat me alive. But loving the show. Hope we get a season 3. I want it to get more recognition. The actors are great. You know, you guys are great. I just want everybody, to thrive. This is a great community we have, and I hope we can keep it going, and I hope to see you guys at FromCon. It could have been in LA, that's the greatest party city ever. Not Nashville, but no disrespect to Nashville. We're gonna turn up there. Maybe you could have it in LA one year, Tony. But yeah, this is Joshua from Long Beach, California, the 562. God bless everybody. Have a good night.
I appreciate the comment. Well, the reason why we're doing Nashville, number one, I think that it's a big tourist destination, especially for women. I think a lot of people, we're dealing with a lot of overseas actors. And I think that, listen, they may go to California for red carpet stuff and be out there, but they haven't gone to Nashville. And I think for that reason, number 3, it's a party town. It's about, we go down the strip in Nashville. Nashville is going to be 20, 30 bars down the strip. We're going to have a great time there and everything else. So that's the reason. Now, someone else put out there that they thought that picture was one of the monsters. It's not the monster. It truly is not a monster, because if you go watch the scene, you see her look out there. That person's there by themselves. Then they go away, and then they come back, and then that's when they show the monsters.
Yeah.
And she goes, they're coming. They're here. Right? She didn't say that when she seen that person out there. They specifically did that just for it to be that way. I do not believe it's a dude. It looks like a woman to me. You know what I mean? So to me, it's either Victor's mother or sister.
Now
that's who I call it.
Chris in the live chat says, wow, Phil looks like Weird Al. In that picture right there, which I did meet Weird Al, I walked up to him. I said, wrapped my arms out and I said, Dad. He looked me up and down and he goes, maybe. I did bang a lot of girls in the 70s. So it's very possible that I am Weird Al's dad. Weird Al is my father. I don't know who my father is, so it could be Weird Al. It's certainly possible. And Weird Al was there doing stuff. Anyways, I'm kidding, or half kidding. But anyways, area code 262.
Hi, this is Bonnie from Milwaukee. First off, are they ever going to let Elgin tell the whole dream? I mean, every time he starts talking about it, he gets disturbed. And then second of all, I think the fairest thing that could happen would be Randall turns up as a monster.
I'm so glad that you
know,
said
then
this.
maybe he'll believe that things are real. Maybe the cicadas he swallowed will turn him into one. And what is it with these people wanting to give all these loose cannons, weapons, giving Randall a gun? Not a good idea. Giving Sarah a gun if you're not sure about her, that's not a good idea.
Nope.
But other than that, I can't wait till next week's finale, but then I have nothing to watch anymore.
We'll find something.
Thanks a lot for entertaining us, guys.
I truly agree. I'm putting a timestamp in the chat so people want to go watch the scene again. Go ahead and watch the scene.
Tony,
that's where you'll find it.
The question I want to pick
watch
from
Donna's face when you watch that scene.
The question I want to pick from this caller's good voicemail is I've heard this a few times. Do you think not dead? Does Randall come back as a monster? Maybe.
I think that Randall could be right in the end. I think that may end how it ends for Randall. I think he may just be dead, but in the end, they have him come back and that they were moles in this whole thing and everything else, and he was right. You know what I mean? That's the way I would think it and everything else.
We will see. Let's get to a couple of text messages before we get to our last few voicemails. Area code 914 says, is from the Boy in White's nightmare. Is Martin the Boy in White all grown up in the future? From Mrs. Glass. Do you think the Boy in White is Martin grown up?
No, grown what?
The question is
Martin the Boy in White grown up?
Yes, Martin the Boy in White grown up.
No, his name is Victor.
There we go. Okay, let's go lightning round here. 606. What if Eloise's music box that her mother gave to her is not necessarily on purpose? When it starts, the dreams manifested the ballerina monster. It could all be some sort of perpetual force of some kind. You never can tell. Area code 240. Maybe humans are trying to keep the monsters trapped in Fromville, but they need people in the town to do it, like some sort of sacrifice. And another question for you, Tony. What would it take? This is from area code 240. What would it take to bring Teflon to the side of magic? Between the visions, dreams, runic symbols, I feel like Teflon is willing to die on that science hill. Also, will Teflon pick between aliens or humans controlling the Truman Show? My theory is that humans, but with a bit of magic. Great text message, and I want to hear. I'm sitting back having a drink, and I want to hear Tony's response to this message.
Let me tell this. Who is this person that said this?
This is area code 240.
This is 240. All right. I'm not going to go with magic in this at all. If it was gonna be magic, you had a chance, right? You had the magic fireballs, and there was no magic fireball, right? You had your chance to do it. You know what I mean, right there. But they didn't. It's not magic. It's technology. It's all it is. There's no magic involved in this shit. It's all technology, and that's guaranteed. Now, as for the aliens or the humans, I see people thinking, "Oh, trust me." It's aliens when it's all said and done. You will see that this is alien technology, that this has to do with aliens, and that's it. Who is this? Dally Bones? Is that Dally Bone?
Yeah,
Dally Bone.
Dally
Bone is the talismans is magic, bro. What do you mean it's magic?
Magic, bro.
What proof did you have that talisman is magic? You heard what that dude said when he came in there. The talismans are not gonna save you. Your talismans won't save you. Right? He was right.
We're all gonna die.
Screaming around.
Tony,
You know what I mean?
oh,
No,
good
in the end, you cannot give me any proof that the talisman was a magic or it have any magical spell. I think it's a game, and that's part of the game. And that's it.
240 says we need a friendly wager, Magic for Science. We do kind of, because Tony has the alien
Yes.
chip bet that if it's
I do.
anything but aliens, Tony has to eat the one chip challenge
Yes.
live on air.
If it has nothing to do with aliens, I will eat the one chip challenge.
And
I
he has a secondary challenge sent out to Ricky Kenny to face him off in him in a bull riding challenge at
Yes.
the first ever FromCon in Nashville.
I challenged Ricky.
Loser eats the chip.
I didn't know it was a chip.
Yeah, I'll rewind the tape. I got the tape, Tony.
Did I say chip?
I think so.
Did I said it? Then we go with it.
I think you
I
did.
challenged Kenny. I challenged Ricky. Not Kenny. To a bull riding contest in Nashville. Loser eats the chip.
I
Whoever
think
doesn't
I
last
could be making
longer.
that up, but maybe I'm just a merry
I
prankster.
think he did make that up with the chip. I don't think I said that.
I feel like you said that, but we'd have to rewind the tape.
I don't think I said that, but I'll definitely do it. Let me super chats. Let me take a couple here. We have a couple. John says, I feel like it's the forest itself. The forest traps people and kills them with the creatures within it. It's not the forest. If it was the forest, then there'd be no need for the lighthouse. No need for the lighthouse, right? They have this whole, the creatures come out of the forest. No, they don't. They come out of a tunnel underneath the ground, and they have a hole that comes out the forest. They ain't spawning from from over there. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? There's an explanation for all this stuff. You just actually have to find it, and that's it. He's left us $5. He didn't leave anything in there.
Yeah, Eric code 240 as a super chat donation.
We have another super chat here from Suba. It says, my Erica too. So I'm so confident it's not aliens. I'm not even worried about that. Science, maybe. I'm not even worried about that.
He wants a side bet with you, Tony. I think he wants a side
What's
bet.
the bet you asking for?
Okay, well, you guys will work that out in the live chat. Think about your bet. You want to?
I ain't afraid of you, motherfuckers, man. I ain't afraid of you, motherfuckers. I already know what it's gonna be, and y'all will see when it's all said and done.
Take a couple more text messages, then we're gonna get back to our voicemails. I'm just trying to get in as many as we can here before Tony's got to go to bed. I know he has to work in the AM. Jim is still suspect to me. That was the one thing that scared Elgin was the nursery rhyme, though. It's not really throw up scary. What about the water when he saw the monsters? I think he's still holding back. Jim is the mole. Says 814. Do you think Elgin's still holding back? Is there still more to Elgin's dream, Tony?
I don't know if there's more to it. I mean, I think that was the big reveal. Like, I remembered what I didn't remember, and that was it. That the boy in white is chanting this song.
Whoa! I need to stop. Wait a minute. Stop the execution. In the words of Can't Do This with Television. I'm putting this one on the screen because I want to hold this person accountable because I know Tony will give me a cut here. I'll super chat $1,000 if it's aliens.
All right, we'll take that. We'll take that from you. Write the name down. Write it down.
Done.
Ryan DPG.
That's a written contract, right?
Has come on here and said that he will super chat $1,000. In fact, if you do, let's not super chat. Let's put it through the Cash App so that YouTube gets none of it. And if you put it through the Cash App, I will send Phil half of it, and then we'll just split it. How about that?
Thank you. Let's alien this shit. So anyways, let's continue. We're joking. Oh, he says fuck it. He said fuck it. I'll Cash App it. Okay.
All right, that's better. Cash App it. Let's go.
Thank you.
You'll see it. All right, let's go. There we go. So we told Ryan DPG, write his name down.
Oh, I've never been rooting for aliens more than my life. 609. I personally have been a little disappointed this season. We keep hearing they're building up to what exactly we've gotten no answers. There've also been, this is from area code 609. There've also been a lot of unnecessary character building. Unnecessary character building. No, there's no such thing as unnecessary character building. Character building is necessary. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut off your point. Just starting to get a little frustrating. A lot of this leads me to believe we'll be left hanging once again. Episode 10. I hear what you're saying to a certain extent. I understand your frustrations and your urgency to want to get more points. But the one part of your message I will challenge is I don't think there's any such thing as unnecessary character building, because I think even if you get to a point where you lose people, the only way you care about them is by building up their characters.
And also, when you look at this real quick, you know what I mean? You have to look at the type of show it is. It's a mystery box show, right? It's not like Spartacus, where you can see him fight the Crixus in the 3rd episode, and then after that go and fight the unbeaten Orcales in the 5th episode.
I mean, that sounds
you know what
fun.
I mean? You can't do that in a mystery box
I like
show
it.
because you have to keep the mystery going.
And you have to care about the characters that you could lose. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything, and you turn into The Walking Dead. Area code 276.
Yeah, this is Doug from the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. I was wanting to know, did anybody notice that Donna, when they was in the RV, and when they looked out and seen the night creatures coming, they only stopped when they saw Donna's face, not when the music was playing, only when they first saw Donna's face. So I think maybe Donna's got something to do with it, not for sure. But to me, they didn't stop because of the music playing. They stopped long before that. As soon as they saw Donna, they stopped. So I'm just kind of curious. You think maybe Donna's up to something, or maybe she's a mole?
I know people want Donna to be mole. I hear what you're saying on that one. I didn't necessarily notice that. Good voicemail. I do want to jump into the chat just for 1 second, Tony, and deal with what somebody said. Someone said it's has nothing to do with The Walking Dead. I don't mean it has to do with The Walking Dead. I mean in the sense of what made The Walking Dead great early on to me when it was good was the feeling that any character could go at any time. And I think shows like this that have horror elements to it. I know From is more of a mystery box kind of sci-fi, whatever kind of interesting, not just horror, but it does have horror aspects. And I think to have the most effective horror, you need to care about the characters. And I think early Walking Dead did that really well, where you cared about Dale, you cared about Glenn, you cared about all those early characters that eventually did run into problems along the way. There's other ones too, Shane, whatever. So that's what I mean with the comparison, not necessarily comparing the series and what kind of series it is.
Someone did. Let me say this real quick, so we have it all on the record and everything. Ryan just sent me the G in the Cash App right now. I have it right now.
No, we didn't. It's not aliens, though. I mean, we don't know yet.
He said I'll send it back to him if it's not alien. So I will leave this.
So we have to hold this in escrow for.
I will
5
hold
seasons?
it in the Cash App in escrow.
Did he really just send you $1,000 fucking dollars?
I'm telling you, he did. Yes, he did.
Ryan, you're the most amazing dude on the planet, dude. What are you
And
talking about?
when it is, then we'll take this and we'll give Phil his cut, and then we'll use I'll use my cut for the FromCon to put it in towards.
And I'll use my cut for drums.
There we go. But I do have it. He did send it. You know what I mean? So we'll keep it here and we'll leave it there until it goes back.
Exactly.
But
Once we find out it's not aliens, we'll pop that
definitely
right
a man of his word. He sent it right here. I have it right here. I'm not going to.
Jesus, mother freaking poop, Ryan. What the
That's
hell?
That's the biggest super chat of. That's the biggest motherfucking thing I ever gotten.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit.
Pause on that real quick.
Yeah, pause. Wait, no pause on that one. No pause on that one, Tony. Oh my god, I'm getting a little tongue tied here. Oh my goodness. Anyways, area code 868. Holy shit. He is now the daddy of this show, Tony.
Fuck that nigga. No,
JP.
This is KP.
Yeah, JP. I can't hear.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing KP's phone, but just his tone is hilarious. So let's just play it in the background while we talk, because
I can't. I can't just keep it from FromCon because we have an agreement. So I just can't keep it for that. I'm gonna leave it here in my account in escrow, and if it's not aliens, then we'll ship it back.
Oh yeah, I mean, like either way, I'm joking around. That can go towards from con the two. I got to do my part. You know, it's like Tony and I are like Tony's $187 million in $50 because I want to do my part. I want to do my part, Tony.
Understand, from con is I'm totally spending everything I got.
This is Tony's baby.
I'm putting all my money on FromCon. Everything that happens you see is me. I'm ponying up all the money for it. Straight up. It's no investors. It's just me. You know what I mean? So I'm just putting it in towards this thing, and I'm doing this for all of us. I have a spot to get together every year and do something, everything else, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Other than the voicemails we have from Wednesday night and other nights, this is our last voicemail from tonight. It's a longer one, so definitely stop me along the way. This is from area code 201.
Hey, what's up, Phil? What's up, Tony? This is Jersey Johnny, John Travolino. Anyone wanted to know? I'm calling from Bayonne, New Jersey. That's North Jersey. I'm 5 minutes from New York City, in between Staten Island and Jersey, right near the Holland Tunnel.
I know where you're at, bro.
You know it, Jersey.
I know where you at, bro. Yeah, I know exactly where you at.
Jersey Princess feels like I can get $499 and some skunk.
I used to. My man Dirtman live in Union, New Jersey. I should be in Union, New Jersey all the time, going to the studio. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. Got much love for people in Jersey. Jersey, Jersey's ghetto. You better watch some cats and get in Jersey, man.
And our third man in, even though we haven't seen him in a while. We wish he was on this show with us. The amazing Bridge 4 is from Jersey as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just calling you. I was going to call to say, don't you think it's creepier to just hear the music box than to see the bugs? Like, I thought that would be, you know what I mean? I think it's scarier to go on your own, to let your own minds make up what that creepy music box is going to do. But I thought, even better, let me tell you what I just did, since I am an idiot from North Jersey. I missed.
Wait, is this Bridge 4?
It's a bridge. It's not Bridge. It's Bridge he lives in Jersey now. Bridge lives in New York.
Oh, for a second, it sounded like Bridge.
I mixed up the first three numbers of this phone number.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently, I called the number, and it's a library in New York. It has because when I hit send, it had a recording. So I figured, hey, I'm on the right thing. It didn't say who it was. It just said that to leave a message, press 1 to send or whatever. And then at the end of it, it said, whatever library will open on Monday, and we will get back to you. And I'm like, oh my God, I just gave them my name, my phone number. So, it's Jersey Johnny, but my real name is John Travolino, from Bayonne, New Jersey, like I said. But that's all on this. Some poor librarian's going to get this crazy nutbag message from me on her answering service when she goes into work tomorrow. So I thought that was more that's more funny than anything I could have talked about the show. So just keep doing what you guys are doing. I'm gonna try and make from then. I'm 43. I retired early. I'm thinking of renting a luxury, like like a luxury trailer, and driving down with a couple people if they're close in the Jersey area and they're cool. We'll party the whole way out there.
This dude sounds like fun.
That's it. And I'm sure it'll be fun.
From Con is gonna be off the hook, man.
Like, listen to this dude.
I probably look. We got Jersey Joe coming showing up.
Jersey John's like, come on.
Jersey John's gonna be up in here with a whole bunch of people. We're gonna have, you know what I mean? Look at all the beautiful women we have in the chat. They're gonna show up here. You know what I mean? We got all these dudes up in here. We're gonna be running up in here, rolling there with their theories, and we're gonna have other YouTube channels. Anyone who has a YouTube channel, and we're gonna have panels, in there. If you want to have a panel and talk about some theories or whatever, all you gotta do is contact me. We're gonna give you a panel. You're gonna have your panel and everything else. It's gonna be off the hook, man. Trust me. We're gonna have a great time.
From, if you want to email a voice clip to theissuesguy@gmail.com for out of USA people, I do not have WhatsApp hooked up to the computer right now. I could try to figure that out. I just have to hook my phone up to my little thing, to my mixing board here at some point. So we could work to get WhatsApp at some point to make it easier. But for now, if anyone from Europe or Asia or Australia or Antarctica want to call in,
Anywhere but the United States.
Yeah, you guys can call in with the area code. You can email me a voice clip to theissuesguy@gmail.com. Just record a voice clip on your phone and send it as an attachment.
Shorty Warren said that dude she's the Jersey princess, so she would know. And she said the dude was drinking Steel Reserve.
I love the Jersey princess. Tony, KP tried again. Let's see if his phone sounds better now.
All right.
Phil.
Tony.
Well, man.
It's better.
You see? Listen, this fucking show needs to fucking start making some fucking sense sometime soon. Or they're gonna fucking lose me. Because, like, why the fuck these people here? What the fuck they doing? What's the fucking point? If it's an experiment, what's the fucking point of the experiment?
We don't have to, but I would love to, just for humor's sake, try to bleep KP.
What the fucking hooping type?
Because I swear just as bad, but he's like on rhythm every other word. Fuck. It's a great fucking call. I'm gonna play your call.
It sounds like he's smoking 6 blunts.
Yeah. I relate. Trust me, I relate. But here we go.
Like, there are so many unanswered questions that if they don't answer at least half of those questions by the next episode, like, they're gonna fucking lose me. Because like right now, I kind of bored. Like I keep getting.
I'm going to play the rest of KP's message, but he brings up a good point, Tony. And I think he adds for the voice of the frustration of the people that need answers. How, as a whole, in these mystery box shows, when do the answers need to be delivered? Like, I think Severance did it really well in season 1, where they gave you enough answers and also littered for future events. I think From season 1 still left me a little wanting. I'm hoping that they taught me off really good.
I think that pause on that. But
no pause. Taught me off. No pause, Tony.
No pause on that. But I think that this is what happened.
It's been a rough
I think
month.
this is the plan going forward. So I'm not a writer on the show, but I'm just saying
You should be.
What I think is going on here.
Hire Tony as a writer on the show.
Yeah, please do. Hire me and Phil to do the after show on MGM. Please do that.
Well, I think more importantly, I'd give you a writer's job, and then I'd be hired as like your assistant. You
would be definitely on. I think it's this. I think the questions from last season will be answered this season, and anything that popped up this season, you'll have to wait for. So I think that the drawings on the cave will be answered this season. I think what's going on at the lighthouse will be answered this season. Everything that happened last season that we've seen, we'll see the answer this season. That's what I think is going to go on. But when it comes down to whatever questions about the Zacadias and all that stuff, you ain't going to get nothing on that this season. Like the music box and the music, you're going to get nothing on that. Nothing at all on
Big Daddy. If I was lucky enough to be an extra on the show, or Tony and I were lucky enough to be extra on the show, I'll be honest. It would be whatever they want. If they want us to keep that shit a secret, I keep that shit a secret.
No doubt about it.
I can be bought out. Give me a job.
No doubt about it. I would be there. Give me the shotgun and let me hold dudes down. Give me the shotgun. Let me be the guy holding the shotgun down. You know what I mean? I'm definitely better. Well, Luna, you left the super chat and I didn't. I'm sorry, Luna. That's not like me. You know, I always get to your super. Do you see a super chat from Luna?
I did not. You can now cycle if you have the chat open with all fan funding. So let me do that right now. Let me see if I get one from Luna. Luna says, if From gets 4 seasons, how should they pace seasons 3 and 4? And also, if it's fear that causes, does that? Okay, no. So yeah, it's the question. If From gets 4 seasons, how should they pace seasons 3 and 4?
It's hard to say how they would pace it if it only gets 4 seasons, right? It depends how many of the seasons they actually wrote it for. If they wrote it for 6 and they only get 4, then they're going to get 2 seasons. You're going to get all that thrown in force in the seasons. Like Rome, when Rome was written, when Rome came out for HBO, was the most expensive show on television at the time. No show that ever came out was as expensive as Rome, and it didn't get the views. The guy planned for 5 seasons, and he had to wrap all 5 seasons up in one season, in season 2, because it was just too expensive for HBO to keep the show on, right? So that's why Rome ended so quickly. They had the actor who played Octavian was supposed to age up in that time and play the role, but since he was so young, they couldn't have him. They had to hire a new actor to come do that. So it all depends how much they have planned for if they plan it for 8, then they're gonna throw it all in everything. You know what I mean? So it all depends. That all depends how much time they had planned for that show, how many seasons they plan on it, and we'll see how they pace it and everything else. So if it's a lot, if they have a lot to go, that's just gonna fly by. It's gonna fly by. They're gonna take the big episodes of each of those seasons and throw them all in one and try to somehow make it work.
And
let me put this, because Gemini Twin keeps throwing this up, and I keep seeing it. And so let me throw this up here for Shorty. It says
Limbo.
everything that is leading up to now screams limbo. So my only pushback on this limbo theory is that it was actually kind of discussed already in season 1 when Tabitha went to Father Koch. Like when they put the wall up, they said, all right, let's write down stuff on this wall, the questions that we have, and see if we can come up with answers. One of the questions on that wall that was big was, did we survive the crash? Right? She went to Father Khatri. She asked him straight up, did we survive the crash? He told her basically, long story short, yes. And he said that she was not the first person who actually asked this question, because he said, I've had time to work on my answer for this, right? So for that reason, I think that we're going to say, to me, I'm going to say that they're not there. I think the writers are all actually telling you that that's not the case. And she comes back with, Father Country is a psychopath, so nothing we could. I mean, we can't go there. With that.
Father Country.
We can't say that. We can't, just because we don't agree with what he says. We can't say we can't trust everything he says. That's not the way it would work, and that's not the way it works. So we have to. This is what he said. This is what the show had him say. Again, if we want to go that far route, then we would have to say it's not him saying it. It's the show writer saying it through him, right? And I think they're trying to let you know, they know the questions that people are going to ask, and they know that they want to push you away from it. Just like with the Fatima's baby. They knew that when they said that, when they wrote that people were going to say that it was going to be a demon baby spawn coming out of her, and they shut it down.
Yeah, they made sure they throw that right in there.
By having Ellis say, oh, I this is what it is. I'm scared that this is going to happen.
Tony, Cromonocle's been asking this question all night. Tony, fill the issues guy. Where is the mole confirmation article? I can't produce that for you immediately. I know that I did hear it and read it at one point with one of the show creators saying it. I think it was a tweet of some kind. I will look for it and try to find it on one of these future shows. It may be one of those things that's just a red herring rumor that just came into fruition.
No, they definitely said it.
But I believe they said it. They absolutely
definitely said it in the article. Listen, let's put it like
it exists.
This.
I read the article too. I just
why didn't if he said it and then all of a sudden now they're talking about it the next season?
He says, of course, there's no article.
Oh my God, the Cromonocle. Get this guy. This guy's going in the box. Not this play. This guy is Randall. This is
Randall's Randall's just been asking all night, so I feel like we had to get to him
Changed
eventually.
his name to Randall because that's what
Kromenakal says they definitely said it. That's a great confirmation. I will look for the article. I read the damn article.
It's just convenient. It's so convenient that you don't have the article right here when I asked for it. Like I asked for it, and it's just so convenient that you don't have it right now.
Did anyone else in the live chat see the article that can help us out here? Because I do have a memory of reading it. I can't deny with Kromenakal that I can't remember. I don't have the link right now, but I do have a memory of reading it. I smoke a lot of trees. I could forget things. I'm not denying the possibility.
No, I didn't. Why am I keep it? Because I know the Kromenakal.
Yeah, exactly, Star. I don't have. I'm saying I don't have the receipts myself. I don't have the receipts
I had to
myself.
keep it to prove it to the Kromenakal. When you have people in the chat all telling you that they see the same article.
Someone
They
says
all see
the
it.
article is the mole. You're right. You're right. I don't know if I did read it, but I could have imagined it. It's true. Kromenakal could be right. He's in my head. He's in my head, Tony.
The Randall Knuckle. This guy, Randall.
Randall Knuckles in my head.
The Randall.
We're not putting you in the box. We love you, buddy.
No, I would never do that.
We love you,
No. You can say whatever you want, bro. That's that.
We appreciate you just listening. Speaking of which, let's get back to KP's message.
Question one. What the fuck? What the fuck even is this? Like, can they at least explain what the fuck even is this? What the fuck even is this little fucking town with all these fucking little white people and this little Negro security guard, Negro sheriff, and like, this little mulatto boy, and like they have
Wait, stop
what the
it.
fuck?
Okay.
He said, what the fuck is this town with all these white people and the Negro sheriff?
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm losing it. I've lost it.
It's town
Perfect
with all these
segue.
white people and the Negro sheriff.
Oh my goodness, KP, you're a legend. Okay, area code 61. Let's attempt to get back here. Area code 613.
I'm calling from Canada. My question or my username is Purple Alize.
Purple Alize.
And essentially, I was calling because I wanted to get more clarification or input regarding what I assumed would be, I don't know, the threes regarding we have.
Oh no, you got cut off. You were right about to make your point.
What happened?
She got cut off right when she made her point, so we have to go back to the end of KP's message.
Oh, Purple Alice.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
So anyway, 613, if you have time, please call back in. Area code 248.
Hi, this is Hannah from Detroit, Michigan.
Hannah.
My question is, did you guys notice how when the movie started, well, when the show started, I'm sorry, it started off with the guy telling Boyd to come in the house because something ate his girlfriend. But that was the house Sarah was living in and she killed her brother. Don't you think it's like all connected to like one?
I'm sorry, I have the giggles just because
I
of the
guess
last
what
two
she's
calls, but
saying that
she is
because
making a point
that
that house,
it was because listen.
the house is fucked.
Could this be retribution for them being mean to Sarah? 100%. 100% it could be retribution that you got what you fucking with Sarah, you kicked her out of her house, now you getting what comes to you. I agree that could be the case going down there and everything, without a doubt. It could be retribution fucking with Sarah.
And area code 613, if you can call back, please do. And thank you, KP, for making me laugh. 781, my area code actually, says the boy in white is evil. The boy in white is actually the man in black, a reference to Lost.
Although someone brought up when you weren't here, when I did last stream on Saturday, and they were talking to me about the Lost thing, and they came on. I had them on here real quick.
Yep.
And they said, and I said I couldn't answer this because I'm not an expert on it.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I'm okay with it. Do you
so
remember?
They were saying that they used the mole situation in this show. In Lost, and he feels that it's the same exact situation going on there.
Yeah, they had this character name. I think was his name Ethan or something. Like one of the others that was that proposed himself as one of the people that got trapped in the crash, and he was actually one of the people that was already on the island and part of the other organization. So his name wasn't Ethan. I forget what the character's name was, but whatever. So yeah, that was definitely something they did do on Lost.
All right.
Oh, it was Ethan, Big Daddy? Was Ethan?
I was like, would they actually do the same thing in back-to-back series?
No, and I think the Lost comparisons are interesting to do a little bit, but it's not one for one. It's not the same creators necessarily. It's some of the writers and producers that are doing a different series that definitely has some of the influences, but I don't think it's going to be a one for one for that. I think the more we can sort of separate ourselves from that, the better. Although I do enjoy the comparisons on occasion. There's certain aspects that do require some sort of comparisons, but I do think, if anything, they're trying to use this series to fix some of those points. Area code 504 says, could Julie be punished because her parents are pressing too hard against the town? Could it possibly be Colony House that heals people, not the town? Could Julie be punished because of her parents, Tony?
I don't know if she could be punished because of the parents. I think it would be more that if Ethan is the new Victor, Victor's sister got killed, so Ethan has to lose his sister. I mean, they've talked about that in this episode, right? He said, Victor, you lost your family members, right? So if Ethan is the new Victor, then he has to lose his family members too. She could be the first to go.
He has to lose everybody. And could the Colony House be what heals people? Very possibly. Never can tell. 781 says the actual Men in Black reference is Terran Meth with Beoth Cook people. Oh, what are saying? 914 Abby, Iron Abby said season 1, episode 8. This place reminds me of a dream that I had when I was a little girl. So if dead people dream that dreams are coming true, then there's some strong evidence for that.
No doubt about it. RC, thank you for the super chat. Says love the show.
240 says I'll also do the 1K alien challenge, but if it's not Teflon, cash at me 200. He says he wants to put up 1,000 against your 200. Area code 240. Message privately. Message Teflon.
Yeah, I mean privately. If you real like listen, I got it in the cash app right here. You know what I mean? So this dude is real about it. I'm real about it, and I promise you, I'm gonna leave this here right now. I'm gonna leave this right here, and he said straight up,
Come on, aliens.
He says, here's the payment, send it back. When it's not aliens, LOL.
Here we go.
It will leave it right there. It won't touch it. It's like it's not even there.
Exactly. It is escrow right now until please. Like, I wasn't sure. I was on the fence before, Tony. Now I'm like so wanting it to be aliens. Area code 604 says, so are Tilly and Donna the moles now, or just Tilly? Tilly made a deal to beat cancer, and Donna just likes being that queen bee, in my opinion. 830 says, oh, this is a longer message. Hey guys, as a practical matter, Ethan has to die. The boy in white has to die as well. We're traversing their world as viewers in a sequential timeline with no time jumps. Lost ran into a similar issue with Walt. They just wrote him off the show for a while. Eventually, Ethan will start growing up real fast. The boy in white faces a similar problem, although he can probably be more easily recast. Critics of this theory will suggest Ethan is special, and that explains why he grows so fast. This is a cop-out. Will we run into a problem with the casting with Ethan getting big too quick?
It depends how much of a growth spurt he has. I would say the bigger issue would be with Vox and the boy in white, but they're using him sparingly. I would think if that was the boy in white, they could shoot multiple season stuff with him in one season. Like they could shoot stuff for season 5 with him right now. If they have it all scripted out, they could have him do stuff right now for that, while he's still young and everything.
Tony, we got another message from KP.
All right.
Let's play a little bit of this.
Another fucking thing. These children in this TV show are really fucking disrespectful. How you listen? I don't know. Maybe I grew up on an island with island people. Like, if I was talking to girls folks and tell them that their mother dead, all kind of weird shit like that, like somebody would smack me in the fucking.
I feel like KP's having some audio issues
Yeah,
tonight.
he definitely is. Who is this person in this picture?
Sorry, KP.
That's what we really need to figure out. When it's all said and done, who is this person in this picture right here that we see in front of us that was hiding behind the tree before the monsters got there? That is the true mystery of this, what we got this episode. And who was in the room with Mari? Who did she see? She almost said it. She was about to say it. She goes, "We're not alone in
Tony,
this room."
Carmine's trolling us. He's like, play that message. I could hear every damn word of it. Okay, we'll get back to KP's message, Carmine. Don't worry, don't you worry.
KP, he said, "What's going on with these white people in this town?" And Negro.
Carmine's like, guys, what do you mean? Play the rest of the damn message. What the fuck?
And the Negro sheriff.
Fucking Carmine. Wait, you there we go.
Why is nobody smacking Ethan in the fucking face? Why is nobody smacking Jay in the fucking face? Like, make a bunch of these motherfuckers in the fucking Dale. Like, how is Dale alive?
Oh, sorry.
He wants Ethan smacked up. He wants other guys.
He just left us another one too. Another voice submission for KP. Let's listen to the other one. We'll start with the new one. Before we get into this, Red Team Review says Boyd is legit the best character. I'm so glad they're not revisiting his disease and keeping him around. I agree, Carmine. We talked about this a lot. There's a lot of great.
He looked when that music came on. He looked right at his hand like there was worms.
And it didn't shake. It didn't.
He was looking for worms.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
Music play. He was like, "Oh shit, is there worms back in my arm?" No, all right, I'm good.
But Boyd is awesome. As much as this show is excellent, a lot of the side characters really work. The show is really carried by the amazingness of Harold.
No doubt that Harold carries the show, and Harold is what makes this show go round.
Okay, so let's listen to a little bit of the end of KP's message here, here we go.
Ask Mother Gundy, this fucking little boy, right? Listen, I don't know if you, Tony, it feels up at 7 years old, and your mother put you in a white shirt and white pants with white shoes and white fucking socks.
What?
And then she lets you walk around the fucking jungle, walk around in the fucking woods. You would be white for literally 0.72 seconds. And within 0.72 seconds, you'll be getting your fucking white shirt and your white pants all fucking browned up. It should not be the boy in white. It should be the boy in white with brown.
Yeah, dirty ass.
And
exactly.
And half ripped off sleeve. Because that, I don't see how that was that they made in 1842 still surviving and clean and shit.
All right, let me take it from here real quick. All right, so dealing with the boy in white, we did talk about the boy in white's costume, and I think it's just a metaphor that they try to make you see somebody in white, and they try to make it seem like he's a good guy because he's in white, but really he's evil. That's what it's going to come down to with the boy in white. Again, his name is Victor, and that's just what it is. Purple Alizé said, "Who gave the 1K?" It was what was his name again, Phil? The 1K. Who gave the 1K?
Oh my goodness, I
have his real name on the Cash App, but I don't want to give his real name.
Yeah, I gotta find his name in the chat. He's probably still in the live chat. Take credit in the live chat, Thousandaire.
Yeah, he gave the 1K, but it's not a real Ryan DGB.
Ryan G, but it's monopoly money right now.
It's not real. It's there, We can't touch it though. So
Tony and
yeah.
I are both respectful enough that we're holding this out. If we have to wait 4 fucking years to get the answers
I
to the
will.
questions,
I'll wait until it's over and we don't know.
4 years from now, I'm getting a hell of a drum cymbal, Tony.
Wait, Ryan DPG is saying right now we can keep it.
No, don't say that, Ryan. Dude, it's a bet.
Yeah, a bet's a bet. I can't. He's
A
saying
bet's a bet, Ryan.
we have to hold it back. But you did say we can keep it, so we will. But
So we
you
will.
know.
So Tony, we'll be splitting that money tomorrow. But that's beside the point. We'll totally wait.
Listen, Ryan, thank you so much. I mean, in all honesty, I will take it, and I will put 100% of it towards the FromCon. I promise you that. He said it's for the FromCon, so I promise you that I will put 100% of it towards the FromCon and everything else. We truly appreciate it and everything else.
Gemini Twin just left a voicemail. Let's get to that. Area code 610.
Let's put a picture up so we could see her face while she leaves this voicemail. There we go.
Here we go. Let me put this voicemail. Here we go.
Hi everyone. So each one teach one. This is Gemini 84. Just calling to say hi, good evening, good night, wherever you are. I think they're in a psych ward. I really do think they're in a psych ward. I said limbo, and it could be a limbo psych ward kind of situation, but I really think they're in a psych ward because they have everyone has too many trauma, and everyone just seems to be going through it. So it all leads to a psych ward. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a phenomenal night. If not, you're going to have a phenomenal week. Talk to you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Gemini. Beautiful voice. So we've heard the psych ward theory a couple of times, and I can understand why people are thinking to only push back again. And I hate pushing back. I don't want. I'd rather just sit here and agree with everyone, but I gotta be real. I gotta give a little. Is that how are the kids in the psych ward too? You say that's what it is. Is it one person in the psych ward? And then, so we're looking at some Shutter Island situation.
Is it Victor in the psych ward imagining all of this and bringing people's subconscious?
If it's like a Shutter Island situation, that's just the best way I could think of it as. You have a central character, right, in there, Leonardo DiCaprio, and everyone else is playing along and playing a role, right, in the whole thing. And that's the way it's going down. Who would be that central character in the show?
Victor.
We are introduced to this place though through the Matthews. Like the Matthews introduce us to FromWorld, right? They're the ones who do it. We see it through their eyes first. And Victor is a secondary character. The Matthews are the main focus.
I mean,
of the show.
the real answer is probably Boyd, right? But
it's not. That's not who we're.
That would be too obvious.
Yeah, we're introduced to it through the Matthews, though. They're the ones driving, and then they're the ones right off the road. And
that's a good question. When you're watching From, Tony, do you feel like you have one individual perspective character that is Boyd? Do you feel like you're watching the show from Boyd's perspective, or do you feel like they do a good, or it's a true ensemble where you're watching a show where there's a lot of different leads?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say
because I hear what you're saying about being introduced with the Matthews, but it seems like most of what we see is from Boyd, but then we see things sort of from Kenny's perspective sometimes too. I think the show does a good job bouncing it around, like almost Wire-ish, where they do bounce around for a show that's top heavy with an actor like Harold. They give everyone a lot of, it's sometimes it feels like Donna's the lead, sometimes it feels like Victor and his episodes are the lead.
Yeah, because C10 says Tabitha is in the psych ward for killing their kid. If that's the case, then why do we see things that Tabitha would have no way of seeing, like what Boyd is going through with in the woods?
Yeah, area code 504 to add to that. Tony says the Matthews are all in the ward.
Yeah, but we wouldn't see if they're all in there too. The kids too. Both kids are psycho. So the mother, the father, and both kids are in a psychiatric ward.
And Tony, this is a different question here. If the show is in the United States based around this, what's going on, do you think there's multiple tests or things like this going on around the world?
I think if they're gonna do a sequel, then yes.
Yeah, do you think that yeah, they'll do the different versions of From Around the Bend? And we've cleared the deck with voicemails. The rest of voicemails we have for from Wednesday night or other nights, we do have in the backload 50 or so voicemails. I've been threatening this, but maybe one day this week, I know Tony's streaming every day this week, maybe one day this week we'll pop over to my channel and do a catch-up voicemail stream where we just go through all of our old voicemails like for an hour or so.
Yeah, we'll do that. So Gemini Twin Thing says great conversation. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. We're gonna stream every day. Well, maybe not. We will stream from Wednesday through Saturday, guaranteed. So Luna is saying, what is this hooded up spy saying? The hooded up spy. Who do you think that expression is saying? I mean, we have it up right here. This is the picture of the hooded up spy. This is it. This is the person right here. Who's the spy? Who is it? This is the face they're making looking through the tree. This is it. I can show you the picture of them right here in the tree. That is what we've seen in the shot. And this is me enhancing the face and everything else. And this is the face that comes up right here for the hooded up spy.
People say the cicadas are in the psych ward. The entire Matthews family was in a car crash. It looks like Beetlejuice, where they were caught in a car crash and now they're in some weird dimension between everything.
I think the hooded up spy has to be like something to do with Victor.
Very possible.
It would have to be something to do with Victor. That's what I would say.
Someone says, let's do a show with KP. He's the best. KP definitely comes on.
He has been on the show. He has been on before, KP. Sonic says, I think you're overreaching with that picture. I'm not, because I'm just going by what the show was showing you. I mean, this is the picture of the person from the show. That's it. This person, to go back and watch the scene. I gave you the minutes where it's there. You see Donna look outside, and then that person's by the tree. It's extremely dark. It's hard to see. The pictures I'm showing you, I've lightened them up, and I've done, and all that stuff to it to make you be able to see it. It's extremely hard to see, but they put that person there. And then after that, they do the bile bullet, and then she looks back and she goes, the monsters are here. So it's not a monster. It's not the monster at all. And I will say this to prove that it's not the monster at all. I think the monster, the grandma monster, comes and Rick is the one. Rick, he's the one who sees it, not Donna. It's not on Donna's side. There's two sides of monsters there, so it's not the grandma monster. It's guaranteed. They would not have. If you see the way the scene is shot, they would not have done it that way. Have her go out there and then all of a sudden see the grandma monster. And then they go away from it and come back and say the monster's here. She would have already said it. They did this on purpose. That's why they blurted out so much, to let you know someone's there watching this whole shit.
I love how they're doing that background stuff too, something that you could easily miss. I totally missed it, and I watched
they put it out there for you to listen. You got to be Hawkeye to catch this. It's there, but they put it out.
I was looking down, taking notes. I totally missed that.
Yeah, they didn't want everyone to see it. Certain people who catch it, you caught it. And they especially didn't want no one to zoom and enhance it like this so you could see exactly what it is. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it and stuff. So that's just what it is. Yeah. 2359. Go take a look at it and you'll see. And put it back a little bit and look at what leads into it. And you could see the face. It may prove that Donna's the mole. She sees this person out there, because right after that, Donna's like, yo, throw this motherfucker out there. Let's put him right out there. But we'll see where it goes and everything else. Again, next week we'll have a cast member on with us. I'll let you know a little bit who that's going to be for the finale.
Ooh, we have a finale member?
Yep, and then we will have a bunch of cast members on for one big show. We're going to bring on a bunch of them and do it again right after that. So we'll have a bunch of them on, and we'll see what this. And we'll do a stream with a bunch of YouTubers too to wrap it up too. I'll definitely be streaming. Let's say from Wednesday all the way through Saturday, we'll have a stream every day. After that, you know what I mean, all that. Elamar will be joining us on Wednesday to go through the theory stream. We'll have the pictures. I'll go through everything else and stuff like that. But go back and look. You see, Donna doesn't bring up when she sees this person out there. She does not bring it. She doesn't say anything about it. She doesn't say anything about it, but she does say something
People
about it.
want a hint, Tony. People in the live chat want a hint on who it might be.
A hint who it might be. They get no hint.
No hint.
You'll see it when they come on. You'll see it when they come on. It'll be someone that you wanted to see. So it'll be someone you wanted to see. How about that? That's the best way I could say it. Someone you wanted to see. And that's the best way.
We know who the chat wants. We know the chat, but we'll be working on that guy. We'll be working on. I don't think it's Kenny, so we'll be working on Kenny in the off season.
Only thing with Kenny is right now that he's busy right now.
He's super busy. He
he's
just got off
busy.
doing a movie. He's training. He's fighting.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on right now.
But he's about to do a Reddit AMA. So if anyone's on Reddit, make sure you ask him what come on with Phil the Issues guy and Tony Teflon.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that would be the only thing I could say, but he's very busy, and that would be the only thing holding him back. We'll be back this week, you know what I mean? We'll have somebody up on here and everything else and rocking with us and all that. And it's gonna be a good time. You know what I mean?
We all do delicious. We all do.
From Con next year, Nashville. We hope to see you there. The website will be up this week. You know what I mean? Thickly saying Kenny's a fighter. Yes, he just won a gold medal to a jiu-jitsu contest. He beat everyone and won the gold medal in a jiu-jitsu contest that he just entered. So yes, Kenny is obviously a great jiu-jitsu fighter in real life and everything else. So yeah, we'll add that. But we'll be back here and everything else. Let me thank Ryan for the donation for FromCon. You know, truly appreciate that. You know what I mean? Biggest donation ever gotten on Teflon T1G. You know what I mean? So definitely thank you for that. We'll see how that plays out, who's right and who's wrong on all that when that's all said and done and everything else. And yeah, listen, I'll see you again this week. I'll be dropping more videos and everything else. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in FromCon next year with everybody else. It's going to be just a great time there. And
one more, Tony. One more next week.
One more next week.
What are you hoping for the season finale?
I just think that I don't overreach for expectations. I just hope we get the answers from season 1.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what I hope. We get the answers for season 1 and everything else, and then we'll deal with the other stuff next year.
I even am less than that. I just want a really good episode that ends in a way that I'm excited for more.
Yeah, I think that I think that it will step up right after this.
Carmine says a plane lands and more people show up. Will we get a plane or a boat showing up? More people?
Maybe a Carnival cruise will show up there.
Yeah, the Carnival cruise shows up.
People say, "Oh, wait, let me just take this." As John Rivera, let's take his questions. He says, "I feel the actors are waiting for the right moment to show themselves. If you don't believe me, go back and take a look, and you'll see what I'm seeing." I don't understand that question, because when you look at the side of the entire frame, you can see the nurse and the sheriff. I think it was a blooper, a mistake. All right, I don't think it was a mistake or a blooper, me personally. But I'm not going to tell you that it's not. I mean, if it's a blooper, how could you say it? You
Tony,
know what I mean?
we also have the amazing as well. We have Carmine as well in the chat, but we also have the amazing Miss Gray area that
I
just stepped in the live chat.
in there and everything else. And look, miss y'all. Good to see y'all covering this show. Everyone says it's good to have him watch it. Look, we love you, Gray. Gray's my girl. 100% always will be, and everything else and all that. And
we love
glad that you stopped by and said what up. Don't be talking. Don't be hollering at me saying what up to Tone or nothing. It's like that and everything else. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? We love you, Gray. I always love you. You know that. You know, always be my home girl and everything else and all that good stuff. And you know, and that's what it is. And glad everybody got a chance to see you up in here and everything else. Listen, when it's all said and done, make sure y'all come to FromCon next year.
Yeah, come to FromCon.
Make sure you come to FromCon next year in Nashville. It's going to be a great time.
We'll have
Hell,
live
hope-
music, good times, experiences. It's gonna be a good time.
No doubt, because we're gonna have so much stuff planned for it. I just can't say it right now of everything I got planned for it. It's too much. I can't say it, but there's so much stuff planned. But if I'm saying, I'll give you, will there be a rap battle between me and a couple of cast members? Quite possibly. It's gonna
Might I
go
try
down.
to slip in there too? Yep,
Yeah, quite possibly it's gonna go down at FromCon on the main stage. It's gonna go down. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, will there be a dance off at FromCon next
Possibly.
year? Quite possibly.
Carmine has a good point. FromCon would be cool, but if we all come, no one's gonna be able to leave. It's true. You might not be able to ever
Listen,
leave.
you may get stuck there. You know what I mean? And everything else. But
Teflon versus Elgin. There'll be some Teflon versus. We know Elgin's coming. Elgin is 100%.
Elgin's there. He's there. That's a done
He's
deal.
one of the ones I feel confident saying will definitely.
I can say I can say who else is coming, but I just can't put it up on the website yet. So that's so since I can't do that, I'm not going to say it. Yeah. I've already said it. So if y'all go back and look, you listen, then people will be there and stuff like that. But I will say, guaranteed, you will definitely have just Jasmine Monster there. I could say about we may have another monster.
I can't wait to party with Molly.
That smiles a lot there. We may have another monster that likes to smile there. We'll have Elgin's going to be up in there. You know what I mean? People who draw pictures and stuff, they might be up in there and stuff. We'll see.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get that. Or I'll work hard. That dude and I talk a lot. He's a really, really good guy. The guy who does all the images and stuff. He's a really good dude.
So we're gonna have, and listen, we can get some of the showrunners and all that. We're talking to everybody right now. So it is what it is. And yes, there'll be special drinks, like a peach drink. Yes, we will have that. Will we have a bile shot in there? Yes, we will have a shot of bile. We'll have all that stuff and everything else. It's going to be a great time, I promise. We're in Nashville for a reason and everything else. Jasmine Monster will definitely be in there. It's going to be a great time in there.
Mushroom tea. I know, Bruzy. I know I'll be doing some mushroom tea down there in Nashville for sure.
No doubt about it. All right, we are out of here. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.